CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, the New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
And windy, blustery day in Philadelphia, but nevertheless, Veterans Stadium is sold out again for this match between the Giants and the Eagles. The Eagles have won 12 straight. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall with John Madden. As has become our Saturday custom, yesterday we spent quite a bit of time with both head coaches. Talk first with Ray Perkins, and what did he have to say about his approach to this game?
Well, you know, of course, the Giants, as you said, have lost 12 straight to the Eagles, and he said they really haven't been able to run against that defense, and he said, but no one has been able to run against the Eagle defense, so they aren't even going to try today. They're going to pass. They're starting Scott Bruner. He said it may be like the 4th of July. There'll be so many footballs in the air for the Giants.
And I know at Eagle practice yesterday, you spent a long time chatting with Dick Vermeil.
Well, it's interesting. Dick said just the opposite. He said, you know, that we have the run down now against the three-man line. And he said, I don't see us passing much against the Giants. He said, it's not the Giant defense. He said, but the way we're blocking and picking up those stunts, that's the thing that we can do the best. So I think we'll see today, I think we'll see the Eagles running a lot, Wilbert Montgomery probably going over 1,000 yards, the Giants passing, and that's it.
All right, John, and the Eagles have won the toss. This is Joe Danello, of course, will kick off for the Giants, number 18. Temperature game time about 42 degrees, very strong, unpredictable wind. As Danello thinks, at least for the moment, he has the wind at his back. Billy Canfield back deep for Philadelphia. Line drive kickoff will soar out of the end zone as Danello had it going end around in that time and out of the reach of Billy Canfield. The Eagles will start from the 20.
That's probably one that Joe Danello would have liked to have used at the end of last week's game.
I would think so. Still a lot of controversy about that decision. Philadelphia Eagles offense, the quarterback Jaworski, Montgomery and Hubert Oliver the runners, Carmichael and Charlie Smith the receivers. The offensive line, Walters, Kenny, Morris, Baker, Sizemore, and the tight end is Keith Trepley. We'll get to the Giant defense in just a minute. 1st and 10 from the 20. Charlie Smith out wide to the left with Carmichael. Montgomery. 2 perhaps. Bill Courier, who missed a couple of days of practice this week with a hip pointer, nevertheless made that tackle. Here's the Giant defense. They start 3 men up front, McGriff, Neal, and Gary Jeter. The linebackers, Van Pelt, Kelly, Carson, and Lawrence Taylor. And the secondary, Haynes, Jackson, Reese, and Bill Courier. So that sets him. Jaworski on 2nd and 7. Right, Carmichael up at the top of your picture. Jaworski again gives to Montgomery. Montgomery out near the 25, stopped by Gary Jeter. Giants have been playing good defense. It's the offense that's let them down. Montgomery beginning today, closing in rapidly on another 1,000-yard season. We'll keep track of his yardage. And Carmichael wide to the right, Canfield in the backfield, Wally Henry split out wide to the left. Jaworski from the shotgun. Neal in chase. Montgomery makes a one-handed catch, and he probably wish he hadn't done it. He took a real hit. Mike Dennis was the hitter.
I'll tell you, that was something. The Eagles looked like they didn't want to throw the ball up or down the field. As we see it here, it's just a screen pass out to the right. Montgomery starts on the left side. You see him coming across in front of Jaworski. He gets it here over the shoulder. Now watch Mike Dennis right there. A square hit right on the sideline to put Montgomery right on his back.
And he's still on his back. That's Montgomery down being administered to.
That has to hurt, especially if that helmet got in the rib area.
It is rather difficult to say what the real key to the Eagles' success is, but certainly if you put put it in ranking order, Montgomery's name would be high up. One of the reasons for their 9-2 record.
I think his name would be right at the top. I think the biggest part of the success of the Philadelphia Eagles offensively is Wilbert Montgomery.
The Eagles will have to kick. There's a loss of 3 on that last play, so it'll be 4th and 10 from the 20. And Max Runniger will be in the game for Philadelphia. Leon Bright back deep for the Giants. Runniger didn't have to punt at all last week against Baltimore.
His first punt in a couple of weeks. Well, you know, an interesting matchup that we can watch today, I think we just saw that last time, is Mark Haynes of the Giants plays Harold Carmichael man-to-man on passing downs wherever Carmichael goes. They did the same thing in the first game of the season, and Haynes was very successful, and we can watch that today to see how he does.
Here is Montgomery up now with some assistance, and he appears to be still shaken just a bit. That'll give you an indication of how important Montgomery is.
Of course, his name was in yellow or gold there because he hasn't gained that 1,000 yards yet. The others have.
There is Max Runniger. Leon Bright still back deep. Standing at his own 40 for the Giants. The Eagles are shifting, and so do the men in white. Runniger. Off a dandy. Away from Bright and out of bounds and fielded by Charlie Johnson.
Charlie Johnson did a nice job of fielding that punt. He looked it right into his hands. He was very relaxed. Since he was out of bounds, he didn't even have to give a fair catch signal.
He did it very well. 33-yard punt is all against the wind by Runniger. It took off looking good. That was the Giants ball movers, and there are the men up front. Leon Perry and Lewis Jackson, the starting runners, and Runner will go right to work in the air. Go deep. Goes over his head. Herman Edwards back there with him.
You never know when you talk to coaches the day before the game if you're going to see exactly what they say, but so far it's been true. Philadelphia said they were going to run. The Giants said they were going to pass, and that's how this game is starting.
Here's the Eagle defense. They, too, play a 3-man front. Harrison, Johnson, Hairston. Ray Perkins says they're the key to the Eagle defense. Bunting, Chesley, the Master, and Ray Phillips starting today. And the secondary, Young, Edwards, Wilson, and Randy Logan. They hope to be able to work against Logan. Gary Shirk is tight end. Shirk out of bounds at the 25-24-yard line by Ray Phillips, the linebacker. That's the kind of matchup you'd like to have.
That was a very interesting play that Phillips had Shirk man-to-man. Now, what's the inside? What's the pass rush? You see, we see Chesley up there. He's faking a blitz first, then he comes to the outside. You see Charlie Johnson on clock in there. That's what goes on and before that football's passed.
A 30-yard gain. A pass completion from Brunner to Gary Shirk. Brunner is big and tall and can, of course, use that height to a great advantage. They list him at 6'5". He seems bigger than that. Another Eagle shaken up. That's Al Chesley, who's been playing in place of Bill Berge. Berge up in the press box. Looks like Chesley might have injured his arm.
His arm or his left hand or finger on that thing. He was the man that we saw blitzing on the replay. He faked in there and he got caught up with those offensive linemen.
First down, Giants at the Eagle 22. They mark it. Jackson, the ball carrier, a loss of 1 perhaps. John Bunting, the tackler. Reggie Wilkes, by the way, has replaced Chesley.
It's an interesting thing the Giants are trying to do. They're trying to put a wingback outside the tight end to influence the strong side linebacker, who was John Bunting. It didn't work that play because John Bunting was a tackler. Does that make any sense? A wingback outside the tight end to influence the strong back? I like that kind of talk. Oh, I understood it. It should have been a coach.
Not a bad idea. Jackson goes in motion. Second down, 10. Runner slips and throws high over the head of Mike Freedy. Herman defender for the Eagles.
This is a very tough situation for Scott Brunner and the Giants because the Eagles bring in their 4 defensive linemen pass rushers. They bring in 5 defensive backs. In this play, they're going to have 6 defensive backs. And I'll tell you, that is very difficult to throw.
6 defensive backs, 1 linebacker, and the front 4. That rush is close to Brunner. He throws. He just barely got it away. Intended for Lewis Jackson, I believe. Lucky he survived that rush. Carl Hairston led the Eagle pack. Claude Humphrey looks like he might be shaken just a little bit and is still down on the artificial turf.
That looks like he's holding his left knee there, and that would be a big blow to this Eagle defense because Claude Humphrey is their designated pass rusher. He's the defensive lineman and a great defensive lineman over the years that comes in on passing situations.
So very quickly the Eagles have suffered some what could potentially be very crippling injuries. One to Montgomery, one to Phillips, and now to Claude Humphrey.
So it's interesting, the same thing happened the last 2 times these teams played each other. In the opener in New York, the Eagles in the first 5 minutes, I think, had 6 or 7 players go down.
Al Chesley is another who came out holding his arm a minute ago. Buffalo 3, New England nothing, first quarter. 2 teams that have been having problems of late. Joe Danello is on the field for the Giants. He's kicked 11 straight field goals, but just 1 in the last 3 weeks. Having a great year.
He's a powerful guy, too. I mean, when he hits that ball, it explodes off that hole.
They talk about Tony Franklin, the Eagle kicker, and the sound it makes when he hits the ball with that bare foot of his, but Danello does basically the same thing, or accomplishes very nearly the same thing.
I don't think we'll see a fake here. It seems like in the last few weeks we've been seeing, well, last week in Detroit we had the field goal, 12 men on the field. They had flankers, illegal motion. The week before, when we had the Giants against Green Bay, they had the fake and the pass to Shirk, and I think we'll see the good old-fashioned kick here, you know, where they snap it and hold it and Danello kicks it.
And I think the week before that, John, they had tried a fake field goal.
A lot of faking. I think we're going to see the kick, the basic thing here.
The quarterback will hold. It'll be from 40 yards out. Very tricky wind, always, it seems, at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. From way out. It was just starting to take off.
Watch this. He did have the explosion. Ricocheted right in.
3-0. The Giants over the Eagles. Early in the first.
Gentlemen, this meeting is called to decide which one of us is the most popular light beer drinker of all.
Must be talking about me.
I vote for my buddy, Boog Powell.
Should I take the minutes?
You can take all year.
Hey, I cast my vote for Billy Martin.
I'll second that.
Me too.
Excuse me, this chart clearly shows what a little showing off can do.
Now, wait a minute. I'm the most popular guy here. Gentlemen, wait a little respect. At least we agree that light beer from Miller tastes great.
Let's do it! Tastes great! Better make it a secret ballot.
Could we vote for Red Auerbach? Please.
What? I'm voting for me.
Count the vote.
And that's no joke.
All right. Gentlemen, we have a winner.
Says here the winner is Bubba Smith.
I knew this was a bad idea.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
39 yards, the official distance credited to Danello on that field goal. And there's the story of the rest of the drive. Danello will kick off. Takes a long run at it. And again, it soars deep into the end zone, and Campfield again can't handle it. Eagles will start from the 20. Thursday will be in Dallas when the Bears face the Cowboys in that traditional game. 3:30 Eastern Time, 2:30 Central. Turkey and Texas.
Turkey, Texas, and football. They all kind of go together, don't they?
Good way to spend Thanksgiving Day. So be with us. When do you leave to go?
Monday. I leave Monday and be in Mississippi on Tuesday and in Dallas Tuesday night.
I'll meet you there. Montgomery is back in the lineup, flanked out to the right. One lone step back is Hubert Oliver. The Eagles, as we said before, plan to run. They'll try it again. Oliver for about 6, perhaps. Curtis McGriff led the Giant defense, number 76.
There's Hubert Oliver. They call him Rockman. He's a rookie, and he's really done a job filling in. The Eagles have lost 2 fullbacks, and of course, when a rookie like this can come in and play for a top team, that's a big plus, and that's what Dick Vermeil really respects the job that Hubert Oliver has been doing.
2nd and 4. Cleveland 3, Pittsburgh nothing, first quarter. That's a bitter matchup. Oliver again. About 2 yards shy of the first.
Watch the middle here. The man over the center, Bill Neal. Watch what he sees. You see he gets in there. He's man-to-man on Morris. He really does a good job of handling that center. I think that they talk about the Giant defense. They always talk about the linebackers and the job Lawrence Taylor has done. But this guy, number 77 in the middle there, Bill Neal, has done an outstanding job for the Giants against the run.
He held his ground on that last play, and if you can get a nose man that can just hold his ground, he's done his job. Booker Russell enters the lineup. This is Montgomery. Montgomery moves closer to 1,000, and he moves into Giant territory, and the penalty marker goes down.
That was a big play. They saw Booker Russell come into the game. He's the short yardage fullback. He's a short yardage fullback who usually runs the ball. They faked to the fullback and then handed outside to Wilbert Montgomery. It looked like it caught the whole Giant defense inside.
24 yards for Montgomery and a face mask violation tacked onto the end of it. Jim Tunney is the official.
Personal foul. Face mask, number 28. Added to the end of the run. First down.
First down in Giant territory. Let's watch it again.
And watch 32, Booker Russell. You see the fake in there. We get the off-guard pulling, kicking out, and Montgomery, once he gets by the whole Giant defense, linebackers and line were bunched inside, and he got to the outside where Beasley Reese has to make the play, plus a face mask.
So it'll be first down Eagles at the Giant 43. Giants leading 3-0 fake by Jaworski. Look out. He gets away from the blitz, gets rid of it. Pass almost intercepted by Terry Jackson. Jaworski had to fight for his life to get rid of it.
He had to fight for his life because they didn't pick up the safety blitz. And we'll see from the outside, from the left side here, we'll see number 29, Bill Courier's coming. Now watch here, it's fake, play pass to the right. Now watch his backside, right there. See, Courier came in, just got a hand on him, made Jaworski bring the ball down, and the Giants almost got an interception by Terry Jackson.
Charlie Smith, the intended receiver. Jackson made a good defensive play, and he's playing very well. Tampa Bay over Green Bay, 3-0. Two more of those 5 and 6 teams in the wild card consideration. Montgomery out wide to the right. Hubert Oliver, the lone setback. This time, Jaworski is under pressure from Neal. And cracked down hard again.
He was cracked down hard. We were talking about Bill Neal playing the run so well. He also got penetration on that thing. He went between Guy Morris, the center, and Ron Baker, the right guard. He looked like he just split him. See if we can see it. Looks like he's going to come right there to his left. You see it? He goes right between the center and the guard. He did, and they had him in there like one of those deals at a fun house, where they get him in there and he catches him. Boom! He just burst out of them and right on Jaworski.
Jaworski didn't think it was a fun house.
walk through.
Jaworski operates this time from the shotgun. A loss of 11 on the last play. Again, he's under pressure. This time he has his man. This is Billy Canfield back inside the Giant 40 to about the 38.
Ron Jaworski looks like he's dressed for it today, doesn't he? Here again, we see the shotgun. Did you see that snap from Guy Morris there? He doesn't look. He keeps his head up to see the blocking. Jaworski has good pass protection that time, and he's able to find Billy Canfield. Of course, it wasn't good for a first down, and the Eagles are going to punt.
They decide it's too far away for Tony Franklin, and Max Runiger comes in. Look out for this one. They have been known to snap the ball to one of the blockers up front. LeMaster. Giants have nobody back. Now the Eagles have taken too much time. It gives us a chance to run down the rest of the officiating crew. Jim Tunney, you see the referee in the dark hat. Pat Harder's the umpire. The head linesman is Sid Seaman. Line judge Dick McKenzie. Back judge Pat Knight. Bill Mace, the side judge, and the field judge is Johnny Greer.
Delay, 30 seconds. Still 4th down.
Colleges do it different. College referee wears a white hat. The NFL, he wears a black hat.
How many college officials are there? 6 or 7 in the NFL? I think there's 6 college.
6 in college.
Yeah. So they got one extra here. They ought to see a lot of good stuff.
They do. Runiger standing back at the 40. Now Leon Bright retreating, but not very deep. Have to go very deep. Bright makes the catch and is hit down immediately by Mike Curcio. 20-yard punt is all, and Bright wisely handled it and didn't let it bounce. Still 3-0. Giants over Philadelphia.
Roomy, inexpensive Subaru station wagon not only goes far on a gallon of gas, it also goes almost anywhere on a gallon of gas, thanks to front-wheel drive. But if you want more traction than our wagon with front-wheel drive, we suggest our wagon with on-demand four-wheel drive. Subaru, inexpensive, and built to stay that way.
MCS, stereo for the senses. See the beauty of MCS. Touch the precision controls. Hear incredible sound. Feel it move you to a realm beyond. The MCS 60-watt system with receiver and speakers is on sale at $599.85. Save $380. See it, touch it, hear it, feel it. MCS, stereo for the senses. Only at JCPenney.
Critics call this dam project a disaster, and you paid for it. How did the politicians push it through? We're going after the answers on the CBS Evening News Monday.
Pat Summerall with John Madden at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. We'll run down those Eagle injuries for you in just a minute. We've got some information from the bench. Giants first down their own 18. Gunner gives to Jackson. Jackson got a couple, but there was a struggle. Claude Humphrey has a bruised knee. He's supposed to be able to continue playing on defense when the situation presents itself. Chesley has a dislocated finger. Don't know if he'll be back or not. He is in the game, so that wasn't too serious. And Montgomery bruised the shoulder. He's already been back. Second down 8. Perkins swings in motion. Runner goes back to throw. Intended for Jackson, incomplete.
Did you see John Bunting there? He thought that pass was coming right to him.
For the Giants, speaking of injuries and shuffling, no player has started all 27 games over the last 2 years.
You know, an interesting thing on that is Dennis Harrison, who's the left end for the Eagles, has never played against Gordon King, the right tackle for the Giants. He said this is the first game. Every other game, one of the two have been injured.
Jackson goes in motion. his feet. Finally knocked out of bounds by Richard Blackmore. Great catch by Mike Freedy.
You know who I'm impressed with is Scott Bruner. I know a few weeks ago in Green Bay he was impressive, but watch him. Third down is always tough to throw on. Long yardage, they have their 4 linemen in the big pass rush, but watch how cool he is here. He steps up, he sees Freedy, leads him over the middle. It's a great catch by Mike Freedy. He breaks a little run here. He looks like his movement is coming along a little better after that serious knee surgery he had last year.
First down, Giants at the Eagle 37. They lead 3-0. Boy deep over the head of Johnny Perkins, who appeared to have a couple of strides and was in the open behind Roynell Young.
And there's a flag on the play, Pat, too. It's holding. It's against the Giants, I'm sure. We'll see if we can see it in here. But if not, watch Dennis Harrison there, the big left end, 68, Bigfoot. They ride him by. That's the first time that they've played against each other. And really, Gordon King did a nice job, because that's what you want to do, get them back beyond the quarterback.
Holding, 60, 10 yards, still first down.
Penalty was called against Brad Benson. You know, you're talking about being impressed by Scott Bruner. He is the same size as Ted Hendricks was when he came into the NFL, just to give you an idea how big he is.
Maybe Ted Hendricks should have been a quarterback and Scott Bruner should have been a linebacker.
First and 20 at the 47, and he'll throw again. Just does get it away. Pass is picked off by Ray Phillips. Runner was hit just as he let it go. So the Eagles will take over, but the Giants still lead 3-0 with 8:12 left first quarter.
Roomy, inexpensive Subaru station wagon not only goes far on a gallon of gas, it also goes almost.
A 39-yard field goal by the Giants' Joe Danello is all the scoring so far. We have 8 minutes, 12 seconds left first quarter. Ray Phillips, Eagle linebacker, just picked off that interception. That's the first in his career. First down, Philadelphia, as you look at Ray Perkins on the Giants sideline. The lone runner, well, it was Montgomery. He's joined by Hubert Oliver.
Probably open up and throw one here.
He does. Out Montgomery. Chased by McGriff. And hit down again hard in front of the Eagle bench after picking up about 5.
But I was thinking, I'm sure that Dick Vermeil wants to run most of this game, but at the same time, he doesn't want to get in the habit of running every first down where the Giants just overplay run on first down and second down and play pass on third down. So I'm sure that we'll see some mixture on this drive and still stay with the plan of running the football.
2nd and 5 at the 42. Greg Hawthorne has just scored for Pittsburgh. And they lead Cleveland 6-3. Oliver is the setback. Smith dropped it. Incomplete. Terry Jackson, the defender.
That was one of those things, Pat, where he was trying to run with the ball before he got it. It was a short hitch or hook pattern, and he really didn't stop and catch it there. He just kind of turned and wanted to get going upfield before the ball got there.
So it's 3rd and 5.
You see the gloves they're wearing? They wear those in cold weather and warm weather. You see, he didn't really get stopped, and when he dropped the ball was when he started his turn. He started to rotate his right shoulder out, and that's when the ball went down.
There's a good matchup. Cincinnati 7, Denver nothing. Touchdown by Pete Johnson. Carmichael this time in motion. That's a lot of motion. Campfield makes the diving catch, gets up, and keeps going. Billy Campfield gets about 6 extra. Brad Van Pelt chasing.
That was a great catch by Billy Campfield, and that's what they use him for. Of course, Wilbert Montgomery can run or pass. He's always in the game in passing situations, and then they bring Campfield in. And watch this catcher. He really stretches out, gets that ball down. He's not down yet. No one has touched him, so he can get up and still advance the ball.
That's a tough assignment for Van Pelt. No matter how fast he is, he's not going to stay with Billy Campfield all over the field.
And they put Van Pelt right or left wherever Campfield goes, because Van Pelt plays left. On that one, he was right.
The I formation, first down, Eagles. Giants 45. Outside Smith, right back to him. Mark Haynes out there with him.
One thing I know that the Eagles are trying to do to mix in with their run is that short pass, because the Giants play off. As we see Smith there, you see how far Haynes was off him. He was 7 yards when Smith made that out cut. So on the running downs, on the first and second downs, they're given a large cushion to the outside receivers.
In addition, Haynes slipped just a bit when Smith made his cut. We were on that field earlier today and yesterday, and it's wet still. The rain earlier in the week. Jaworski straight ahead to Oliver. That'll be enough for the first down.
That's a good mixture, and I can see that the Giants somewhere will have to start mixing up their coverages so they can get those corners up tight, either in a zone or a man, on those wide receivers.
Dick Vermeil.
He has that play chart. That's his game plan. He has his game plan right there. It has every play he wants in every situation that can arise in this game.
Jaworski has his Eagles on the move. First down, Giant 33. Look out. Oliver makes a good catch, and Oliver bangs down to about the 27. Harry Carson made the tackle. Lawrence Taylor almost beheaded Jaworski.
I don't know if Jaworski heard you, but he threw right when you said, look out. Were you talking to him or the people watching this game? But that's what you call a hot receiver. You know, sometimes the back will block the linebacker when he comes. On that time, they let him release, and then when the linebacker comes, they just throw it over his head.
Dick Vermeil said yesterday they were going to try to keep a lineman on Taylor at all times. And that time they didn't have one.
Not close, was it?
Jaworski, 2nd and 4 at the 27. Montgomery slips down to about the 25. Tripped up by Gary Jeter and Harry Carson.
Gary Jeter was the one that made the play on that. I think we can see him. You see him, he comes inside of Stan Walter. See, he gets penetration right there. They don't get Jeter blocked, and he gets his right arm out to trip up Montgomery.
Jeter beat the double team.
That's the second time we've seen a Giant lineman beat a double team. That time it was Stan Walters and Steve Kenny trying to double team, and boom, Jeter went right between them.
3rd and 3. He will throw. He has time. Decides not to. Scampers down inside the 20. Goes down on his knees, but gets the first down. Tripped by Bill Courier.
The fans love that when the quarterback runs, and I'll guarantee you the coaches don't love it. You're just over there thinking, oh, get down, don't get hurt. Watch him here. This is you see, he fakes a run. Now he rolls out here. Now this is an option runner pass. He's looking, if the defense comes up, he throws it. If they drop off, then he runs the ball. That was a safe one there. Heck, there wasn't anyone around him.
He got his first down. Now he's got the signal from the sideline. He's run the ball only 12 times this entire year. At least he helped his average with that last effort. Montgomery. To the 10. Right now for an update on what's happening elsewhere, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Down in Tampa, Rich Campbell is quarterbacking the Packers. Injury to Whitehurst. Campbell pulling out, going over the middle, picked off by Cedric Brown, and he'll run it back 81 yards for the Tampa Bay touchdown. That is Brown's 4th interception of the year and his 2nd touchdown. Let's go back now to Pat Summerall and John Madden in Philadelphia.
And at Veterans Stadium, Brent, the Eagles are on the move. First in at the 10. Or second down, I beg your pardon. They need about a foot for a first. I thought Montgomery had it on the last run. Got it now. It'll be first and goal from about the 4. Harry Carson again made the tackle. Just inside the 5, make it.
I'll tell you, Dick Vermeil was talking about running because of the offensive line and how well they work together, but a big part of that is Wilbert Montgomery. Watch, he gets hit there, he spins, he turns, he twists, and picks up about four more yards. What a runner this guy is.
Montgomery unofficially has 44 yards on the day, so he needs just 2 for 1,000 on the year.
And they get it right here.
Now he needs more than 2.
He got the ball, but he didn't get the 2. You know, it's interesting. We saw that Green Bay and Campbell throw the interception, and it was a score. And you know, the Eagles now are driving for a score here, but it's a result of a turnover. You know, the turnovers seem to be so big in this game that every time there's a turnover, it seems like there's a score coming right after that.
Speaking of scores, Detroit 3, Chicago nothing. A field goal by Eddie Murray. Familiar name after last week, isn't it?
Finally got on.
Second, Jaworski throws. Krepley has the touchdown for the Eagles.
They don't throw the ball a lot to their tight end, Keith Krepley, but when they get down inside the 10 is when they like the big tight end. It was a little play fake. Krepley was on the right, and he just ran a slant right into the middle of the end zone. That's when you like a tight end, because the closer it is, the tougher it is to throw, so you like those big targets like your tight end.
I don't care what Tony Franklin says. His foot has got to be cold. John Shira holds it. Franklin drills it down the middle, and the Eagles take a 7-3 lead. We have a minute and 40 seconds left in the first quarter at Veterans Stadium. And it's Philadelphia 7, the Giants 3.
Subaru owners have a lot in common.
The Philadelphia Eagles scoring drive. They took them 12 plays. They kept the ball just over 6.5 minutes. And Jaworski hit Keith Krepley, his tight end, with a 6-yard touchdown pass. Here's Tony Franklin. One shoe on, one shoe off. That's Danny Pittman returning the kick for the Giants. Bouncing around to about the 27. Greg Brown made the tackle. Next Saturday, it's the premiere of NCAA basketball on CBS Sports. The Wolverines of Michigan go up against the University of Arkansas Razorbacks, or the University of Georgia Bulldogs take on the Dons of the University of San Francisco. Check the local listings for your game next Saturday live, 4 o'clock Eastern, right here on CBS Sports. First down, Giants. Rob Carpenter into the backfield. Brenner. Gray, the receiver, wide open, and Brenner got the ball to him.
The Giants started with Johnny Perkins and Mike Freedy, and Ray Perkins was telling us yesterday that he was going to use Ernest Gray more today at the left end. He's normally a right end, but he's playing right here as we see him running in and catches one. He's playing here in place of Mike Freedy. That gives them more speed in their offense and speed on both sides.
Ernest Gray split wide to the left this time, and Perkins swings back in motion. First down, Giants at their own 45. Handoff Carpenter. Carpenter bangs for it into Eagle territory. Bernard Wilson made the stop. Pittsburgh 12, Cleveland 3. Steelers have missed both extra points. Next Sunday, those Steelers will be the first part of our NFL doubleheader. Los Angeles at Pittsburgh or Washington at Buffalo.
Pittsburgh, they seem like they're getting hot again. Last week, Terry Bradshaw threw 5 touchdown passes. Now they have Lynn Swan back. Whoa, what a combination.
2nd and 2. Carpenter again, and he'll have that first down. Carpenter breaking tackle. Rob Carpenter down to about the 34. What a fine run.
I'll tell you, he didn't stop. He really kept his feet going, and he ran right through a couple of tackles there. Rob Carpenter has really been a pleasant addition to this Giant offense because they can use this one back in the backfield. Did you see the job that the tight end Tom Mulledy did there of driving a linebacker to the inside so Carpenter can bounce to the outside?
Subaru owners have a lot in common besides all the different models they own.
And built to stay that way.
We're at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Dick Vermeil, the Eagles' very industrious head coach, checking with some of his offensive players. He sleeps 3 nights a week at the stadium.
I understand that, but I'll tell you, you don't do that over a long period of time.
1st and 10 at the 34. We're looking. Ernest Gray is open again. That'll be enough for a Giant first down. But right now, for an update, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Now we've got a homecoming down in Houston for Bum Phillips, and the Bummerooski has struck first. It is Holmes from 9 yards out. The extra point is good. Saints over Houston right now, 7-0. Let's go back to you and John and Philly.
And here at 7-3, the Eagles over the Giants. The Eagles have beaten the Giants 12 straight times. Scott Bruner has him on the move, however. He gives again to Carpenter. Rob Carpenter slips a couple of tackles again. He's been bothered by a hip pointer, and you can see that rather odd-looking pad he's got over his left hip.
Now, watch this. Watch here as we see Carpenter, but the best thing that he does is get his shoulder square in the line and have vision. Now, I know that Leon Perry and Leon Bright were both saying that they learned so much from Carpenter. The thing that they've learned is how you keep your eyes open and you look and you feel as you're running into the line.
That's Bright, who was in motion. Pass was intended for Johnny Perkins, I believe, and incomplete.
What did Brent say in that update? Bummerooski?
That's what he said.
That's a new one. There's Bruner-Rooski.
Bum Phillips just doesn't look like a Bummerooski.
No, he looks like a...
He looks like Bum.
He looks like a coach that belongs in Texas with the Houston Oilers are.
17-0 now. James Owens has just scored for Tampa Bay. And they lead Green Bay 17-0. Brunner back to throw and does to Perkins. Perkins inside the 10 out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. Richard Blackmore belts him out. Johnny Perkins having a good year.
I'll tell you, he really makes a great move here on Roynell Young. We can see it. He brings him in and then goes back to the outside. We don't see it. It was just before that. But you see he had about 5 steps on Roynell Young. He brought him into the inside like he was going in, stopped, and then went back to the outside. It was a great move.
Does it appear to you, John, that Brunner is operating with a lot more confidence this week than he did the last time we saw him?
It sure does look that way to me. I mean, he sits and waits in the pocket. He's not nervous. His feet aren't moving.
Carpenter. Rob Carpenter still struggling down to about the 1.5-yard line. Carpenter running hard today.
Rob Carpenter has great balance, and he's a lot bigger than most people think. You know, Rob Carpenter weighs 230 pounds. But getting back to Scott Bruner, you know, you can't always tell when a quarterback is nervous by what he says or how his eyes look. But the one thing that's a giveaway is the feet. When a quarterback is nervous, those feet are always moving, and that's where the nervousness comes at. But Scott Bruner looks like he's sitting there. He's waiting, and his feet are staying stationary.
Second down at about the 1.5. Leon Perry and Leon Bright. Giant runner. That's Bright. Touchdown, Giants. Al Chesley hit him right at the goal line, but Bright got in.
Bright had good blocking over on that left side from the left tackle, Brad Benson, and the right guard and the left guard, Billy Yard. Watch it, see here, see, they get down low. They don't allow any penetration. Since the linebacker comes in, Price is able to get up in the air and get his momentum into the end zone.
Brad Benson and Billy Yard, both with good blocks up front. Danilo with Brenner Holden. And the Giants recapture the lead. They went 72 yards in 9 plays. And with 12:46 left to play in the first half, it's the Giants 10 and the Philadelphia Eagles 7.
The 1982 cars are here, and so are the 1982 prices. But now, American Motors makes buying an 82 easier with a 10% rebate off base list prices. That's $725 off this 1982 Concorde and $1,000 off this Eagle. You can apply the cash to your down payment or get a check. A 10% rebate. Tough action from American Motors.
Let the Radio Shack TRS-80 put the world of color computing into your home. Instant loading program packs turn any color TV into an exciting game arcade. And there's more. The color computer is an educational aid, a home management tool, an up-to-the-minute electronic information service. The programmable, expandable TRS-80 color computer from $399 only at Radio Shack, your Christmas computer store.
On the CBS Tuesday Night Movies,
Freeze on the count!
Ed Asner and Gene Simmons have gone undercover and found each other. Now they may lose their lives in a small killing Tuesday.
The Giants 10, Philadelphia 7. Touchdown by Leon Bright. Put the Giants back ahead. Danilo kicked the extra point. Now he's about to kick off. Good high kick. It'll be Billy Canfield with a chance to operate this time. But not for much yardage. Up to the 13 is all, where the Eagles will take over. Right now, again, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York for an update.
John, watch the Panama. They are all over Bart Starr and the Packers. James Owens will zip 35 yards. And a hand on him at 17-0. Folks, it's easy. Let's go back to John, who must remember the Bummerooski play.
Pat Summerall with John at Veterans Stadium.
John McCaskey should be happy.
They've been down on him in Florida of late. But not today. 17-0. Tampa Bay over Green Bay. First down, Eagles. At their own 14, Ron Jaworski, the quarterback. That's Wilbert Montgomery. That should get him very close to that 1,000-yard mark. Gary Jeter on the bottom of the pile.
I'll tell you, Wilbert Montgomery is something special. You know, when you practice defense, the offense has to help you out and give you a look. And on most teams, the stars don't always do it. But just watching yesterday, when they were practicing defense, Wilbert Montgomery is like in there every play. He's running back, fullback. He's even outside as a wide receiver.
The man holding court was Marion Campbell. That's Montgomery again. He is over the 1,000 yards. That's the third time in Wilbert Montgomery's career that he's passed that milestone.
Doesn't look like he knows it. You know, the great thing about that is Wilbert Montgomery, along with 4 other running backs, have gained 1,000 yards in 12 games. So when we talk about the 12-game schedules that used to be, these running backs are comparable. They're doing it in 12, and Wilbert Montgomery has done it in 12 here today, and the fans realize it right now.
Down Eagles at their own 26. Montgomery again. Straight ahead. Barreling outside the 30 to about the 33. Harry Carson on the bottom of the pile, but Montgomery had some momentum.
You know, one thing about the running game as we watch this, now watch the Eagles, how they pick up things. They all kind of step to the outside. They get that line going. Montgomery doesn't need a big hole, just a little slit in there, and he can get through it. You know, one thing about the running game, it takes a little while in a game to get it going. You have to slow down or wear down that defense a little, and then you get it in the third and fourth quarter.
Right now it's 2nd and 4th and 32. A fake this time to Montgomery. Jaworski going deep for Smith. Harry Jackson right there with him. They talk about Haynes playing well. So is Jackson.
You know, every game that we've seen, Terry Jackson has done an outstanding job. And, you know, he doesn't get mentioned. They talk about Haynes. They talk about the linebackers. But to me, Terry Jackson is playing as well as any of the defenders on this Giant team.
Jaworski looking over at the sideline to get the signal from Dick Vermeil. Detroit 6, Chicago nothing. Another field goal by Murray. New England 7, Buffalo 6. Third down 4 to 32. Shotgun formation. Jaworski looks things over. Giants will rush 4 men this time. To Campfield, right down the middle at the 40 and up for a first. Bill Courier on the tackle.
That was interesting. The last third down situation, they also threw it to Campfield, and it was against Brad Van Pelt. This time, they doubled Campfield. Let's see if we can see it. Here's 10. Here's Brad Van Pelt. We see him here. He's coming off. He's covering Campfield, see, from the outside, and Courier is right there behind. They had him doubled, short and deep, and Billy Campfield still caught the ball for a first down, although Van Pelt's getting closer.
On first down, Carmichael stood out wide to the left. Jeter made sure that Jaws stayed down.
You know, with this cold weather here, and we've seen Jaworski there, we see him blowing in his hands. He's really, looks like he's having a tough time today keeping his hands warm. You know, when they get cold, they get a little slick. You know, as your hands get cold, they kind of get slick, and the ball will tend to hit and slide off your hands, and we can see that he's trying to keep them warm, keep that circulation in there.
Temperature at game time was 42 degrees, but it's damp and raw, and it feels much colder than that. Jaworski back. Lawrence Taylor on the blitz. He does it well.
He does it well, and he did that against an offensive lineman. The left tackle, Stan Walters, was on Lawrence Taylor, and he beat him.
Penalty flag is down on the field as Tunney consults with one of his teammates.
Jaworski says it's against the Giants.
So does Tunney.
And Tunney's the one that counts. Jaworski's signal doesn't count. But when Tunney with the black hat says it, then you got to listen to that one.
And he'll tell us what happened.
He's a good one.
Holding defense at the line of scrimmage. Penalized from the previous spot.
Holding defense. He didn't tell us who did it.
On the line of scrimmage.
First down. He wipes out the sack by Taylor. Gets the Eagles at first at their own 44. They trail by 3. Jaworski to Montgomery. Montgomery again with that square shoulder, eyes wide open run, picks up some extra yards. Taylor made the tackle.
Lawrence Taylor makes it from the back side, but you know the thing about Montgomery, that was supposed to go on the right side. There was nothing there. He just keeps his feet moving, good vision, and he slid right back to the left, you know, and picked up 4 or 5 yards.
They give him 5, so it's 2nd and 5 at the 49. 8.5 minutes left. First half, Giants 10, Eagles 7. They start in one direction, they come back in the other direction with Montgomery, and Lawrence Taylor doesn't bite. That's the play that we saw Dallas use with great success when they beat the Eagles here.
That was the same type of thing. It was a tackle trap. They brought the tackle, Jerry Sizemore, from the offside. And, of course, Lawrence Taylor just stood there, took on the block with his left shoulder, and made the tackle.
Loss of a yard. It'll be 3rd and 6 at the 48, and Jaworski will have to throw. Comes out in the shotgun formation. As Billy Campfield, who's used frequently in this situation. Earlier, that's Smith who goes away in motion. Jaworski gets a good snap. This time it was intended for Montgomery, and he is really popped by Courier, and down is Montgomery again.
That's the 3rd time they went to the well on that play on 3rd down from the shotgun. The other 2, we remember Billy Campfield was in there. That time it was Montgomery, and they had that same thing. The Giant defenses figured out. They said on 3rd down, they're hitting that back inside in the middle. Van Pelt was on him again, but Courier played that one a little tighter. Now watch this. Excuse me. Lawrence Taylor's on him. Now watch Taylor from the outside. Van Pelt will be on the inside, and right there, Courier comes.
That's the 2nd time that Montgomery's been down. The first time with a bruised shoulder. He might have it again. The doubleheader that begins with the NFL today. It'll either be Los Angeles at Pittsburgh or Washington at Buffalo. And Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, Big John and I will be in Dallas. Max Runiger catches this one. This is a dandy. Right lets it bounce, and it goes into the end zone. There's Wilbert Montgomery over on the sideline. He walked off under his own power. That was a 52-yard punt by Max Runiger. His last one, the other direction, it only traveled 20, but that helps the average.
He had a couple of weeks to rest that leg up, so he had to have everything. Plus, the wind was with him on that play, and he liked that punch. See that little nod? He said, that was okay. I did pretty well on that one. Thanks for covering it, guys.
10-7 Giants over the Eagles.
I've had to write something.
Cincinnati 14, Denver 7 now. Rob Lytle just scored for the Broncos, and Buffalo is back ahead of New England 13-7. Brunner going deep, got a man wide open, Ernest Gray. Ball hung a little bit, but Gray was well clear of everybody. Renard Wilson made sure he stayed down.
Watch the move he makes right here on Herman Edwards. Watch, it's a little out there. Herman Edwards went for the out and fell down as he did it, and then Gray went right by him, and he was able to catch the ball before Bernard Wilson got out there. That was a good little move that really put Herman Edwards on the ground.
That was a good move. 28-yard gain, a Giants first down. That's what Brunner has done so far today. It's out of 12, 140 yards. Bone set back is Rob Carpenter. Stays in the block. Brunner throws, got a man open, Gary Shirk. Near another first down. Frank LeMaster made the tackle, but Scott Brunner, with time, is picking them apart.
Look at him. He is cool, and he is poised. You know, he has 2 advantages. One is his height, but the other is his quick release. Now watch, he sees him, he sees Shirk, and you see how quick he got rid of the ball and got it into him? That's the biggest thing a quarterback has to have.
Being able to load and fire in a hurry. He can do it.
I like this kid. You know, a lot of people are saying, geez, the Giants are in trouble. They're playing the Eagles. Sims is out, and that's fine, but don't discount Scott Brunner. What's that mean, Jim? You never say that on first down. What do you tell everyone that for? They always do that on 4th down to get the crowd excited. They don't say first down and 10 yards or 2nd down and 5 and point to it, but it's always when you have a little way to go. They always show you how much you have to go.
Spoken by coach.
Only a coach.
2nd and 1 at the 43. Ike Forte in the backfield for the Giants now. Runner fires, hits Perkins. Right on the money again. First down, Giants. Roy Dale Young made the stop.
You talk about a quick release. That thing was loaded and unloaded. You know who he reminded me of on that pass was Joe Namath. Joe Namath could load and unload, and Scott Brunner. Now watch right here. Watch the play in here. The nose tackle, that was Charlie Johnson in there, was getting triple team. But you see how quick he got rid of that ball?
Carpenter to the outside, now cuts back. Rob Carpenter inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Ray Phillips stopped him. But again, Giant offense on the move as Ike Forte checks back in. 3 field goals by Eddie Murray. Make it 9-0. Detroit over Chicago.
And that game is being played in Chicago. Detroit has yet to win a game on the road, but they may do it today.
5 in a row at home, and they lost all 6 when they went out of town. Mike Freedy, Johnny Perkins, both on the left side. They're back. And the ball is knocked down by Dennis Harrison, I believe.
It was Dennis Harrison. He took a little inside move. Dennis Harrison's 6'8". So when he gets his right arm up, he's 7'9". And even though Scott Bruner's 6'5", when he gets his right arm up, he's 7'2". So 7'2" can't throw over 7'5".
Those are pretty good measurements. It'll be 3rd down now for the Giants. Ball at the Eagles 29. 4:50 left first half. Perkins in motion. Bruner gets it outside. It bounces off the hands of Ike Forte. Almost picked off by Reggie Wilkes on the rebound.
Ike Forte, of course, is the running back that the Giants picked up this week. We see him. He's number 35 here. It's his first game with the Giants. He's only had a couple days practice, but Ray Perkins says that he had him at New England, and he had an advantage in that he knew the system. But he hadn't been catching a lot of passes. You see that one hit him, went right through his hands and hit him on the shoulder pad.
Joe Danello now has 12 field goals in a row after he hit that first one earlier. And now he'll try from 46, 47 yards out against the wind. His system, he's done a good day's work. It almost takes too much time. And the streak is broken. At 13. The unlucky number got him.
Right, I think the wind got him a little too.
10-7, the Giants still lead with 4:40 left in the first half.
He's got to check the engine speed, check the fuel. Now your kid can race like a pro. Magnum 440 Pro Racing with the fastest cars in the world. Real dashboard, tachometer, fuel gauge, and he controls it all. Hit the red line. That really burns gas. When he's out of gas, he's out of luck. Quick! Is half a tank enough? Get back in the race and win.
Now get a $5 refund direct from Tyco when you buy the Magnum 440 Pro Racing set. See TV Guide and People for details.
When Minolta designed this new camera, they knew some people wouldn't like it. Why? Because the Minolta XGM isn't just a new camera. It's an exceptional camera. Automatic, so it's easy to use, with electronic features to prevent mistakes, and a unique combination of creative features, including the option of professional motor drive. The new Minolta XGM. Who wouldn't like a camera like this? The competition. Wait till you see how good you can be with the Minolta XGM.
Now through the National Championship, NCAA basketball on CBS Sports.
The Giants 10, Philadelphia 7. Pat Summerall with John Madden in Philadelphia. Eagles football at their own 29. Ron Jaworski, their quarterback. Crepsley, the tight end, comes in motion. That's Campfield, who has replaced Wilbert Montgomery. And he's thrown for a loss of perhaps a yard. Right now for an update, let's swing you to Brent Musburger in New York.
St. Louis and Baltimore have exchanged touchdowns. They're tied at 7. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay continues to run it up. Doug Williams to Theo Bell, 7 yards. It is now 24-0. Why don't you ask your cohort, John, if he'd like to coach in Baltimore next year?
All right, Brent, would you like to coach in Baltimore next year, John?
I wouldn't want to coach anywhere next year, last year, the following year, any year. I did enough of that, and I'm done.
And you like this job?
I love it.
Jaworski goes back, trying to set up a screen, and finally he just throws it away and out of bounds. The Giants read it perfectly. A penalty marker goes down.
And that has to be a penalty for throwing the ball away because there was no one out there. We see that Wilbert Montgomery's not in the game. He was hit in the stomach. He'll probably be back, but he's not now. Now watch, Jaworski sees it's a screen pass, but there was no one out there, and he just threw the ball away. Jim Tunney, the referee, was right there, and he said, you have to throw it to a green jersey.
Holding, number 37, 10 yards.
Well, Jim, that's good holding, but you can't throw the ball away either.
Jim Tunney's a nice guy.
He is a nice guy, and he's a very competent official, but I would have penalized the Eagles for throwing the ball away because the difference between that penalty is that's loss of down also. The holding is not loss of down, so it's still second down.
And 20 at the 19. Campfield. He'll pick up some of it. Back about to the 30-yard line. Lawrence Taylor on the tackle.
Billy Campfield hasn't done a lot of running over the years for the Eagles. He's kind of a specialist. He's a kick returner, a special teams player, and a very good pass receiver. Now with Wilbert Montgomery out, he's getting an opportunity to run the ball a little more. And he's not bad, but of course, there aren't a lot of Wilbert Montgomerys.
Campfield is a 4-year veteran from Kansas, 6 feet 205. Third down about 9 at the 31-yard line. Jaworski in the shotgun lineup. Faking blitz, and it is a fake. Was looking for someplace to go, and down he goes. In the hands of George Martin. And the fans start to boo just a bit. He couldn't find anybody.
I think the Eagles are trying to stay with that running game, and of course when you get a penalty or you don't gain anything, then you get in these long yardage situations. And we see Jeter coming from the outside. Stan Walters does a nice job of pushing him beyond, but then watch George Martin come right in here. He gave him a stiff arm. Martin stayed with it. Great effort, and just got that right leg.
So Runniger's back again. Leon Bryant fighting the wind just a bit. Makes the catch, and Billy Campfield is hanging on his ankle. Takes him down. So the Giants will take over with 2:33 left to play in the first half. And they lead the Eagles 10-7.
He was the kind of a guy who didn't expect much from today's small cars. Just practicality, nothing more. Then he saw the 1982 Oldsmobile Omega and realized he'd been expecting too little. This 4-cylinder front-wheel drive Olds Omega had style. He could imagine the luxury inside, the smooth, quiet ride. Olds Omega, he smiled. Even today, there's still room to do it with style.
Welcome to our people-pleasing places. Good luck.
Holiday Inn makes me feel like a winner. That's why my team chooses Holiday Inn. No surprises. Beds always comfortable, always big rooms. And there's a Holiday Inn hotel near just about everywhere we play. Well, let's go call them like we see them.
You have to see them to call them. Holiday Inn is number one in people-pleasing.
Cincinnati now 21, Denver 7. Boy, Forrest Gregg has done some job this year in Cincinnati, hasn't he?
Dan Reeves has done a great job at Denver, too. Those are two surprising teams in the NFL that are both leading their division.
Both of them with 8-3 records going into that contest today. Lone set back is Carpenter. Mike Forte flanked out to the right. Intended for Mike Breedy. Well behind. 2nd and 10. Line of scrimmage, the Giant 34.
I think Scott Bruner threw that one before he wanted to. He threw it a little too soon. Breedy hadn't even made his cut yet, and maybe Bruner looked. And I think he was taught, you know, the first time he played against the Packers, he had 4 interceptions in the first half, and I think he was taught, don't force it. If it's not there, just throw it away. And I think he did on that first down pass.
So it brings up a 2nd down situation. Look out. Trying to set up the screen pass, nothing there. They're trying to get the ball to Leon Bright. He had 2 blockers out in front of him, but Bruner just didn't have enough time. Dennis Harrison, a applied the pressure.
Dennis Harrison applies a lot of pressure, and he's one of those players that really doesn't get an awful lot of mention. He's in his fourth year, and he plays the left end, and then he goes over and plays the right end sometimes. And I'll tell you, he's a force over there. He not only plays very strong against the run, very hard to block, but he's a good pass rusher.
And a lot of people don't realize how difficult it is to switch positions like that. Here's running straight back. Looking deep. Broken up at the last instant by John Shira. It looked like Ernest Gray had a couple of steps. Shira came there at the last minute and slapped it down.
I think Scott Brunner didn't get everything on this ball he wanted. You see that left foot? It stepped parallel instead of up into the throw, and that allowed Shira. The ball hung in the air a little longer than maybe you would want it to, and Shira was able to catch up with it.
Dave Jennings back to kick for the Giants. His first activity of the day. John Shira back deep for the Eagles. Can't figure out what happened to Wally Henry. Jennings didn't catch it. Shira will field it and look for some place to go. And gets out to about the 39-yard line, perhaps the 40, before Byron Hunt leaves the coverage. Only a 36-yard kick by Jennings, and that includes the bounce.
You know, that is an interesting thing. What happened to Wally Henry? You know, the Eagles last week lost Rodney Parker, their third wide receiver. So Wally Henry was the third wide receiver for today. And if he's not healthy, then the Eagles are playing with only two healthy wide receivers.
Could be they decided that Henry would be too valuable to lose on returning kicks. Montgomery is back in the game. Here's Montgomery. And Wilbert gets about 8. Brian Kelly led the defense.
Did you see that one? That's something that you don't see very often, but it may be a trend that we're going to see. Shotgun, see it here, right here, shotgun on first down. See, the ball was snapped to Jaworski. He just handled on a little delay to Montgomery. You see what it did to the defense? It brought the defensive end, Curtis McGriff, up the field thinking pass, and they ran right inside of him.
That'll be the 2-minute warning then. Both coaches will be notified. Giants up by 3.
For Gary Jeter, the New York Giants.
Going home to visit his father is always a very special occasion.
Welcome home.
As a United Way volunteer, I've worked with the United Way agencies that serve the handicapped. I learned about the handicapped in this house from this man. This is my father. He raised me and my 2 brothers, supported the family, and taught us that with courage and love, we can face whatever life has in store for us. Handicapped from birth, you never let it stop him.
Well, I've learned in life that there's nothing impossible that you can't have if you only believe. I have 3 children. I taught them to the best of my abilities to stand on their own feet.
We'd like to salute all the United Way agencies that have served the handicapped, and this, the year of the handicapped. Thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way.
The preceding message was furnished by the National Football League. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Wilbert Montgomery, 13 carries, 73 yards at the half. Highlights with a different kind of score, plus Brenton and Irv with scores and other highlights.
And the Eagles are trying to get a few plays in here to stick in those halftime highlights.
Second down, 2 at the 48. Jaworski gives again to Montgomery. Montgomery will have the first at about the Giants 48. Harry Carson took him down.
Now the Eagles take a timeout. That's what they wanted to do, is they just wanted to give Montgomery the ball, pick up a first down, and then take the timeout.
The last time the Giants beat the Eagles was in 1975, and the quarterbacks in that game were Craig Morton for New York and Roman Gabriel and Mike Marilla for the Eagles. So far, said he was going to do. Not try to run it too much, but put it in the air a lot. Greg.
Dick Vermeil has lived up to what he said he was going to do, run it a lot and not put it in the air very much. But I think now with 1:55 and only 2 minutes and only 2 timeouts remaining, I think we will see the ball in the air some.
First and 10 at the 48. The Eagles hurry out of the huddle. 1:55 left to play in the first half. Giants 10. The Eagles 7. Jaworski from the shotgun. Harold Carmichael has not yet caught a pass. Here's Jaworski with time, throwing down the middle. Pass is caught by Wally Henry.
You were asking where Wally Henry was, and I think that you were right. They weren't going to use him on the punt returns today, so they can use him in these situations when they need 3 wide receivers. You see the shotgun, good pass protection. They triple team the nose tackle. They drive out the end. Wally Henry runs it in. Now that's the place to run it in the last 2 minutes. Your pattern's inside because the Giants are playing deep and to the outside.
A 19-yard gain gives the Eagles another first down. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Eagles and the National Football League is prohibited.
You know, the Eagles all tape these games. I know they were telling us yesterday, and they don't miss a thing that's said. Is that okay?
It's okay with me.
Okay.
I can't remember anything that I shouldn't have said. First down at the 30. Make it just inside the 30. 1:47 left to play first half.
1:47 is plenty of time, and having 1 timeout, they can still get 3 or 4 plays in here.
This has got to be the loudest crowd in the league. And Jaworski just asked them if they'd mind being quiet a little bit.
And they did.
Jaworski again complete to Henry. Knocked out of bounds, but another first down for the Eagles. Mark Haynes belted him.
Wally Henry was saying during the week that as a kick returner, he gets as many balls as a wide receiver does. He catches as many. Now he's getting to do it as a wide receiver. You see, he had possession inside. He dropped the ball when he was out of bounds, so it's a completion.
Line of scrimmage down to Giant 18.
They have organized cheers here. They're spelling out Eagles. They love them here.
Canfield. Billy Canfield gets as much as he can and also gets out of bounds and stops the clock. Terry Jackson hit him out.
That was a big play for the Eagles because Canfield was able to get to the outside. We see Jaworski here. Now he's able to step to get the ball out here to Canfield. Now a big play here. They only have 1 timeout. Is get the ball out of bounds. He makes a little move, and then he's able to get out to stop the clock.
7-yard gain, 2nd and 3 at the 11.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles run somewhere in this drive because you don't want the Giants to have any more time after you do score.
1:33 left on the clock in the first half. Here's Jaworski looking for Montgomery. Gets the ball just over the head of Van Pelt. But Montgomery couldn't come up with it. Seattle 3, Kansas City nothing. First quarter. Field goal by Herrera. And New Orleans 10, Houston 3.
That was a good play by Brad Van Pelt because he was coming on a blitz. He felt Montgomery coming out, and he just kind of got between Montgomery and Jaworski, so Jaworski couldn't get the ball to Montgomery.
The Eagles send Carmichael and Smith to the right. And here's where they look for Big Harris. For Carmichael, can't couple of cracks at it, but couldn't come up with it. Mark Haynes and Van Pelt were the closest defenders to him.
And there's no one that feels worse right now than Harold Carmichael. See, he has those gloves. Now they have a new thing where they cut the fingers out of the gloves, but he has good pass protection. The Giants have a 4-man line. He's able to step in. What a target Carmichael is here. 2 hands and 1 hand with the right, and then he knocked it to the turf. There's that barefoot you're talking about. You know, but only kickers would do anything barefoot. You never see a barefoot quarterback or guard or nose tackle.
Tony Franklin, 20 out of 29 on the year. This will be from 27 yards out. And Franklin has it. So the Eagles creep closer. And tie it up at 10.
I'll tell you, that Tony Franklin is quite a guy, though. They really, you know, kicker, we kid about them a lot. They do spend a lot of time alone. They can't practice a lot. You only have so many kicks in your leg per day, and you really have to be a team guy. And watching Tony Franklin in practice with the other players and coaches and with us, he really is a team guy, isn't he?
Yeah, see, I'm sort of down on him myself, though, because yesterday we were chatting, and he said, he knew I was a kicker, of course. He said, how old are you? And I told him, and he said, really, my daddy's not that old.
I thought he was going to say, why aren't you still kicking?
Tony Franklin, the kickoff.
He's not even wearing a long underwear thing. I like that. You know what? I was watching the Eagles offensive line. Not one of those guys have on that long underwear.
Leon Price to about the 22 and whirled back. The Giants have all 3 of their timeouts remaining with 1:10 left to play in the first half, and the score tied at 10. Don't forget, next Sunday, the NFL Today will start it off. Then it'll be either Los Angeles at Pittsburgh or Washington at Buffalo. In the doubleheader games, the Giants at San Francisco or Atlanta at Houston. And, of course, on Thanksgiving Day, we'll be in Dallas for the Bears against the Cowboys. Brady comes in motion to Carpenter. Rob Carpenter whirls off the right side, stopped by Ken Clark. All 3 of the timeouts the Giants have.
I'm sure with this position and the score 10-10 and going into the win, that the Giants are just going to run out the clock and go in at halftime with the 10-10 score.
Carpenter got about 5, so it's 2nd and 5 at the 25, and indeed that looks like what they're going to do. Just let the clock run, even though they do have all 3 timeouts. Carpenter on the draw, and Rob will have a first down. Ken Clark again on the tackle. Coming up at the half, all the scores and highlights from around the league with Brent and Irv in our studio in New York.
We were saying that the Eagles may give them another highlight. I don't know if they'll use that Tony Franklin field goal as a highlight. Had Harold Carmichael caught that pass, though, that would have been 14-10, and that would have been a nice highlight.
That would have made it, I'm sure. As it is, the score is the Giants 10, the Philadelphia Eagles 10. One more half of football to go at cold and blustery Veterans Stadium.
You can count on Sears.
Is the Giants 10, the Philadelphia Eagles 10. One more half of football to go at cold and blustery Veterans Stadium.
You can count on Sears.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Olympus Camera Corporation, manufacturers of quality 35mm cameras and accessories. Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world. And by J.C. Penney Auto Centers and J.C. Penney Shop at Home Catalog.
Another big half of football to go. Pat Summerall here with John Madden. And as we were talking just a minute ago, John, both coaches have lived up to what they told us when we talked with them yesterday.
They sure have, and the stats have lived up to that. You know, the Eagles have the big lead in rushing, and the Giants have the big lead in passing, and of course the score is all even.
10-10 with another half to go, and there are the first half stats.
Look at that. The passing, the Giants, like they said, they have 160 yards. The Eagles only 81. And the rushing, Giants only have 52, and the Eagles have double that, 105.
And the totals you see just below that.
Turnover is only one turnover in the game. Time of possession really doesn't mean a lot, does it?
Giants have thrown it 19 times. The Eagles 17. They've only run 9. Rob Carpenter has 49 yards and 7 carries. And Montgomery had a good first half as well.
The Eagles stayed in the locker room a little longer than the Giants. They just got out there, so we have to wait. Maybe Dick Vermeil there had a little extra something to say to him.
Tony Franklin will kick it off. Vermeil is very big on one particular word, and that is consistency. And one of his theories, other than hoping to be very consistent every week, is that the teams you're supposed to beat, the teams over which you're favored, you got to beat them. And the two teams that have beaten the Eagles this year are both very good football teams, the Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys.
You know, there's a lot to that. I really think that that's one of the things that separates the real good teams, the best teams, the great teams, from the average teams, is that the good team will always find a way to beat the teams they're supposed to.
Leon Bright loosening up those knees. Franklin lines it deep. Danny Simpson retreats about 5 yards deep into the end zone. And the Giants will bring it out. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20. With the score tied at 10 at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia.
You know, that was always a frustrating thing, I think, for both teams. You saw Pittman take the ball and kind of throw it down. You go in there at halftime to regroup. The coaches say something inspirational. Everyone comes out inspired and they want to play, and the ball goes into the end zone and there's no play. It's dead.
Well, you're right about that. Scott Bruner, first half. Rob Carpenter, the lone setback as Freedy comes in motion. First play, second half. Carpenter almost broke away, but he's picked up by Al Chesley.
Carpenter did have something going there. They had the hole between the linebackers, and then Chesley came from the outside and just got him as he turned upfield.
Carpenter now 8 for 52. Good average. Second down, Giants. They need 8 for a first from their own 22. Score tied at 10. 2 tight ends set up. First time we've seen that. Winner has Perkins. Johnny Perkins will have a Giant first down at the 38. Bernard Wilson made the tackle. Good protection that time for Brunner.
Now, I think we're seeing this more and more, the 2 tight ends, 1 back in the backfield that spreads the defense out, and I think that's a trend to come. Now, watch the left guard here, Billy Ard, starting his second game. He's really a good pass protector. I watched him in film last week, and he always has those shoulders square. He's going to be a good guard for the Giants.
As Ray Perkins said yesterday, he has a future. Carpenter on first down for about 3. Dennis Harrison, the tackler. The word on Claude Humphrey, by the way, who was injured early in the first half, is that he has a sprained knee and will not be back.
Of course, that'll change things for the Eagles. You know, Claude Humphrey was said earlier as their designated pass rusher. He comes in on the passing downs, but they still have enough. What they'll do is bring in rookie Greg Brown as a pass rusher and still go the 4 defensive linemen in passing down.
2nd and 7. Carpenter got 3. Reedy again in motion. Draw play to Carpenter this time, and Carpenter will get about 3 more. Charlie Johnson, who does such an outstanding job playing in front of the center, made the initial hit.
I'll tell you, he does do an outstanding job. He's always in there in the run. Now watch, we see Harrison here and Gordon King going at it. It's their first time. Harrison gets him back. King just held him up out long enough where he couldn't react and get inside the draw, but Charlie Johnson wasn't held out.
St. Louis 14, Baltimore 10. They're now in the third quarter. Struggling Colts, Houston, and New Orleans tied at 10. So are we. Bruner standing in the pocket, just does get it away. Finds Johnny Perkins, and it's incomplete. He's out of bounds. Ernest Gray. I said Johnny Perkins. I'm sorry.
That was very close over there in the sideline. I'll tell you, Scott Bruner really hung in there. See if we can see it here. You see, he sees Gray is coming all the way across the field. See him? He's looking out there. He finds him, and now he has to throw just as he's hit, which takes a little of the velocity off the ball. You see it wobble out there? And Gray was just there. He had his left foot in, but his second step, the right foot was out of bounds.
Right foot now for Dave Jennings. This one he rockets. Far over the head of Shira. Ball bounces straight up. And the Giants will have a chance to down it at the 5. Joe McLaughlin is down. And Jennings got the good kick and the good bounce. And the Eagles have a long way to go after that 48-yard punt by Dave Jennings.
The engineers of Mercedes-Benz have created an advanced diesel...
Eagles have had a lot of injury problems today. Here's one of them who keeps coming back. Wilbert Montgomery. Bill Neal, the nose man, made the tackle.
Watch the left tackle here, Stan Walters firing out. We see him on man-to-man on Jeter there. He gets that left hand in there a little. You see, and he had a grab of a jersey. You know, one thing we always talk is if you play against someone that's wearing white jerseys and you're wearing black gloves, you put white tape over the black gloves so you couldn't see it on a jersey. But you see Stan Walters' hand on Jeter's jersey there?
That sounds deceiving. Montgomery off the right side. McGriff was the first man to hit him. Not much.
Dick Vermeil wouldn't be deceiving. You know, one thing wrong, again, with the running, when you're going to win the game with running, is if it's not successful on first down, then you end up in a lot of second and long and third and long, or if you ever get a penalty, you end up in long yardages. And if you're not ready to pass, your attitude's not right for it. And I think that's affecting the Eagles a little right now.
3rd and 5 at the 11. In the shotgun is Jaworski. Looking for Carmichael. And Carmichael looked to the inside, and the ball came to the outside. Mark Haynes right with him. And Harold still hasn't caught a pass.
We'll watch the same action down here. You see Stan Walters, he gets both those hands up there. Now that's legal. So you want to get your hands on him right away. Keep him. Now ride him to the outside. One more hit, and it was okay. See, the tackles can ride those defensive ends outside and up the field beyond the quarterback.
Max Runiger standing in his end zone. Gets it out. Not very deep. Bright comes over and fields it. Bumps into his own man. Looks for somewhere else to go. John Shira was the first man to hit him. Was he a valuable player? The Giants 10, the Eagles 10, with 10:15 left to play in the third quarter in Philadelphia. Giants at 5-6, along with 6 other teams in the NFC, fighting for that wild card spot. The Eagles trying to stay ahead of Dallas. Steps up into the pocket, throws outside, intended for Carpenter. Nothing doing, as Roynell Young was closest to Rob Carpenter.
You know, that last play there, Scott Bruner, that thing that he just did there where he took the ball and his feet were both pointing straight ahead and he threw it out to the right, just flicked it out there. That's one of the things that Ray Perkins says that he likes about Scott Bruner is he doesn't always have to be in perfect positions to throw the ball. You know, and that's true of all great quarterbacks. They don't always have to get that perfect thing. They can throw it from a lot of angles.
Brenner will probably have to do it right now. 2nd and 10. Eagle 49. Gets it out. Just barely gets it out. Roynell Young on the back of Johnny Perkins.
He had to throw that one out there with Harrison or Hairston. It was Carl Hairston, I think, was right on him on that play. We'll see it again. He'll come from the left side. See, he comes inside Benson. Now watch, right up the middle, and he hit Bruner right in the chest as he threw the ball, and the offensive lineman was blocking him. Brad Benson, we see him right there. He was hurt on that play.
And so Benson goes out. Seattle and Kansas City in a battle of field goals. 6 and 6. Buffalo 13, New England 10, third quarter.
Well, here's how the Eagles are making their adjustment now without Claude Humphrey in there. Greg Brown is the right end. Ken Clark is the right tackle. And then the left tackle is Carl Harrison. Left end is Dennis Harrison.
Perkins in motion. Now he swings upfield. Headed for Ernest Gray. Roynell Young right back there with him.
See if we can see these four guys that I was talking about. See, from the right end, there's Brown, and Greg Brown. He's a rookie, and he's a natural pass rusher. Look what happens to Dennis Harrison. He jumps up, and the right tackle, Gordon King, cuts him. That's what you always teach him to do.
Jeff Weston, by the way, replaced Benson and got the good block. John Shira back deep. Standing at the Eagle 10, Dave Jennings. Last one dropped dead back there. Let's see what this one does. Shira will field it at the 5, and he drops it. And Van Pelt, one of the first two down there to make the tackle. The other is Byron Hunt. 39-yard punt by Jennings, and the Eagles again are back deep in their own territory. 9:15 left, third quarter. Next Saturday, the premiere of NCAA basketball on CBS Sports. You'll see the Wolverines of Michigan against the Arkansas Razorbacks, or the Georgia Bulldogs taking on the Dons of the University of San Francisco. Check your local listings for your game next Saturday live, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, CBS. Montgomery is very much alive. Harry Carson made the stop, but Wilbert got about 5.
What the Eagles would like to do, of course, is get a few first downs before they have to punt so they can change this field position. This is their second series where they've started inside the 20 and they haven't gotten out yet. So they're thinking in terms of first down. Get a couple of first downs.
Just looking down below us, I see John Bunting heading for the locker room. He strained his knee apparently earlier. At 2nd and 3, Montgomery got 7. The ball's at the 19. This time it's Oliver. He won't have the first.
You see a little extracurricular activity. And we were talking about Bill Neal. Now watch him. He's over the center right there. See, 77. Stays low. He gets under Morris. Now he doesn't allow him to get moved back off the line. See, he just holds his ground there. Of course, he gets turned, but there's no hole for Hubert Oliver. So that was a good play by Neal. He holds the center and then slides right down the line with the play.
He only weighs 255. Only, I'd say. That's still pretty good size, but not big for a nose man. Batted down by Brad Van Pelt. Jaworski has it knocked back past him.
And the fans are booing that one, but if a linebacker is blitzing, I think it's a lot smarter to pick him up. That could have been one of those hot receiver type things again, and Brad Van Pelt just didn't let the ball get over his head. Well, he's all padded up. Look on his left arm, he has a pad sticking out there. Look at that thing on his right arm. He had a hyperextended elbow, so he's playing with a few extra pounds there.
Giants put some pressure on Runiger, and it pays off with a bad punt. Oh, the Eagles are going to be called. Leon Bright put his hand up and never had a chance to make a catch. JoJo Heath wrapped him. And this will be against the Eagles.
The What the rule is there is whether he puts his hand up or not, you have to allow the punt returner room to catch the ball. And he hit him before the ball even gets there. We'll see it again. Now watch him here. He did have his left hand up, and look, here comes the ball about 2 seconds after JoJo Heath hit him.
And about 5 yards away. So Jim Tunney.
This will be a 15-yarder. 5, 10, 15, 17.
Leon Bright, who was shaken up against the Packers on a punt return.
Interference with the opportunity to make a catch. Number 29, 15 yards, first down.
Now watch right out here. Right here, see, he's going up to catch the ball. Look, he gets the shoulder right in there. Now that has to really hurt because he wasn't expecting that one.
And totally unprotected where he got hit. Score is tied at 10. Still Rams in Pittsburgh or Washington at Buffalo. Ernest Gray in motion. Hand off to Rob Carpenter. Carpenter down to about the 30. Right now, the stop is made by Dennis Harrison. Let's send you to Brent Musburger in New York for an update.
Pat Bum Phillips is back ahead of Houston. It's Jack Holmes. It was a controversial touchdown. Houston didn't think he broke the plane. Watch the left hand, the one that he has cradled the ball with. He just gets it into the end zone. 17-10 Bum. Let's go back to you and John and Philly.
And here it's 10-10. The Giants in Philadelphia. The other half of that doubleheader we mentioned just a minute ago, the Elliott-Pittsburgh game, and the other, Washington-Buffalo. That's the rest of it. Giants at San Francisco or Atlanta at Houston. Bruner looks left, throws right. And throws right in the hands of Randy Logan. Logan with the interception is going to be chased. Not down yet. And now is. A lot of running with an interception by Randy Logan. Gordon King put him down. The second interception thrown by Brunner, penalty marker down.
But this is a miscommunication as we see it again. See, he starts out on a little roll. Now, he looked like he thought Shirk was going to keep going. You see 87 tight end Gary Shirk there. Shirk stopped like it was a hook, and Bruner led him. Now, even had Shirk continued to keep going, I think it still would have been intercepted anyway.
One of the things that Ray Perkins was saying yesterday, but first let's listen to Jim Tunney.
Illegal block in the back, above the waist, half the distance to the goal line, first down.
First down Eagles, and again they operate deep in their own territory. Started to say, John, that Perkins said on every one of their pass patterns, at least two of the receivers have to adjust to the defense.
Right, and go ahead. You're right, and that looked like one of the adjustments. It looked like Shirk was making one adjustment. Bruner was anticipating a different adjustment.
First down Eagles at their own 4-yard line. Montgomery for a couple, and that's all.
They're talking about adjustments. I never had any adjustments for that reason. You know, it was always an excuse if something didn't work, it was the opposite adjustment. Just watch this. Now, the thing they want to do here is just get this ball off the goal line. So you give it to Montgomery, just piles in there, and you're trying to get out so at least you get room for your punter. Look at those pileups. Look, those white jerseys, green jerseys. That's the pits. That's where the pits are.
He gets it just outside the 5, where it'll be second down 8. Jaworski to Carmichael. And Harrell will get about 4 or 5 very, very tough yards. Brian Kelly made the tackle.
One thing about throwing out there to Harold Carmichael on that end screen is that he can fall for 4 or 5 yards. That's not a bad thing when you need a few yards. Get the ball out to him, and Big Harold starts going down and picks up 5 yards in the process.
6'8", Harold Carmichael. That's what he's done.
See all those yards he's gained? I haven't gotten that many numbers on a pinball machine.
Third down, and 5 at the 9. Jaworski, with a lot of time, gets it out to Keith Krepley, the tight end. Clutch catch by Krepley. And that'll be enough for a first down. Van Pelt lassoed him.
I'll tell you, Jaworski did an outstanding job there holding the ball and waiting until Krepley could get in the open. Now watch him here. He really had pretty good pass protection, but he didn't have any receivers. See Brian Kelly come on a blitz. He's picked up by Baker there. See Jaworski's looking. Nothing. Good pass coverage. So he keeps running. Krepley keeps running, and he hits him right between 3 white jerseys.
That gives them that breathing room that they've been seeking. 4:20 left to play in the third quarter. First and 10 at the 19 for Philadelphia. Jaworski will throw on first down. Goes down the middle, almost picked off by Courier, intended for Carmichael. Beasley Reese got a hand on it in front.
You know, I will say that the Eagle offense today looks a little flat. You know, that they're flat. The the Dallas Cowboys were flat last week, and the Eagles kind of look that way today. They really don't look like they have everything into it. Now, you talk about crazy fans. There's some guys down here with their shirts off. Man, that's weird.
That is weird. They may have a chance to discuss it somewhere else. From the looks of things. It's got to be down in the 30-degree range now. Up around 40 when the game started, but it's gotten colder as the day passes. Jaworski fires incomplete. Montgomery perhaps is a target. May have been the tight end Krepley.
I'll tell you one thing, that the Giant defense has been doing an outstanding job of coverage because there hasn't been anything open. Watch the line here. Now the Eagles do a good job of picking things up. We see Neal in the middle. We see Jeter going here on Stan Walters. They have good time. See, they're collapsing, but they're staying in front of their men, but the coverage was just too good. Watch this. You see Jaworski's looking. He has time, but he doesn't have anything open. Great coverage.
Leon Bright. Oh, I'll get to that in a minute now. It's third down 10. Eagles. Their own 19, Jaworski. Fires complete. Carmichael has the ball, goes straight up in the air. Canfield comes down with it. And catching the rebound might have gotten a first down for the Eagles.
Because they pat each other on the shoulder. Campfield pointed to Carmichael and says, "That's your reception. I'll just help you out a little." Now they are playing here. You see, we see Carmichael coming. He's up in the slot. It's a 5 defensive backs. It's man-to-man coverage. Now watch right there. The hit comes in, knocks the ball out. Campfield does a little jump ball, takes 2 steps, and picks up the first down.
Started to say Leon Bright just passed behind the Eagle bench going into the locker room on this side. I would imagine, John, to be x-rayed. Here's Montgomery. Wilbert still on his feet. Montgomery has another first down, but a penalty marker's dropped back at the 30. Lawrence Taylor finally took Montgomery down, but Wilbert almost broke it.
And this is going to be a frustrating one for the Eagles. You know, they've been in the hole all the time. We can see it right here. It's holding against the Eagles. They finally get out of the hole, and then they're going to go right back in it again. Now, there's a guy right there, Pat Harder, who was talking to Jim Tunney, the referee. He's the umpire. He's the most active, wildest umpire that I've ever seen. You know Pat from his playing days.
Oh, yeah.
Number 63, during the run, 10 yards, still first down.
Tell you one thing, Pat Harder was some tough runner.
And he's some tough umpire in there behind the defense. You know, he's had a bypass, one of those 4 bypass, quadruple or whatever, but it hasn't changed him.
So it's first and 20 now for the Eagles, back at their own 21. Holding penalty nullified the game by Montgomery. And Jaworski will throw quickly, or try to. Montgomery can't come down with it. And he does come down hard as Mark Haynes submarined him.
You see Ron Jaworski, he's up there and he's arguing that the contact by Haynes on Wilbert and Montgomery was before the ball got there. The officials say no, that it wasn't.
Montgomery slowly back to the huddle. When he goes in the other direction, he moves a lot quicker than that.
He sure does. This was a timing pass. We'll see Haynes was in tight coverage. He'll be running step for step. The ball is in the air. And, of course, it was in Montgomery's hands and out really before he was hit by Haynes.
Second down, 20 at the 21. Just over 3 minutes left, third quarter. Score tied, 10-10. Jaworski is hit just as he lets it go. The pass is incomplete, and a penalty marker is dropped again. And Jaworski is down, struggling to get up.
That was Gary Jeter. You know, Stan Walters, the left tackle, has been having a tough time with an inside move. Jeter took an inside move on it. Let's see if we can see it. It'll be right to the left, the right of the screen. See 70 coming in here? Inside. Walters was not only beat to the inside, but I think they also called him for holding on that play.
Part of that
Holding,
reason...
75, decline. Third down.
Part of the reason might be, John, that he's having so much trouble to the inside is their concern about the blitzing by Taylor. And they may be bringing the guard out to help out on him.
That's right, because we did see Walters block on Taylor once, and that's a good point. He could be concerned with the outside with Taylor and getting beat to the inside by the defensive lineman.
Third and 20 at the 21. From the gun. Jaworski almost has the pass picked off by Van Pelt. And Kenneth for Campfield well behind him, and Van Pelt almost came up with a big interception.
Listen to those fans boo. I'm not sure exactly if they're booing the Eagles or Jaworski or what, but again, it doesn't look like they're really in the mood for passing today.
I think it is perhaps a little bit of both. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see number 9 before too much longer, Joe Pisarcik.
I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. The Giant defensive pass coverage has been excellent.
Danny Pittman goes back deep for the Giants to field this punt. Taking the place of Bright. Pittman breaking a couple of tackles. Finally, it's John Shira that wraps him up. But they'll start off in Eagle territory. Dick Vermeil with reason for concern as the Giants are staying tough. It's 10-10 in the third quarter. 2:39 left.
On CBS Sports as the Chicago Bears face the Dallas Cowboys, starting with a special holiday edition of the NFL Today, live at 3:30 Eastern on CBS.
There's Ray Perkins, who once again was very candid with us yesterday in our conversation. That's the other Perkins in motion. Ike Forte carried the ball. Al Chesley made the tackle. First rushing attempt of the season for Forte of Arkansas.
And, you know, Scott Bruner, he's in the 2 games that he's played, he's really had trouble, and his interceptions have come when he's thrown the ball inside. And he throws a sideline or comeback pass very effective. I would think on this series, if they're going to throw, they'll throw outside.
Leon Perry's the fullback. Forte gets the carry again, and Forte is swarmed on by the Eagles. Ray Phillips, the first man there, but a penalty marker has been dropped.
I'll tell you, there's nothing that stops a drive like this penalty right there. When that referee goes like that, that means holding, of course, 10 yards, and that you just get something going. You just get some field position. And there's nothing that takes the starch out of momentum more than a holding penalty.
Not only the loss of the yardage.
Holding, 60. 10 yards, still second up.
Brad Benson is 60. So it'll be 2nd and 14 back at the 49. Less than 2 minutes left to play in the third period. Giants 10, Eagles 10. Perkins comes out wide to the right. Mulledy is the tight end on the right side. Here comes Forte in motion. Bruner hit from behind. A sack. The Eagles have it. His arm did not start forward. Dennis Harrison made the recovery. Carl Harrison made the hit.
And the hit comes right from the left side of the screen. It's Carl Harris right there. You see Bruner didn't see him. He didn't feel him. He was looking to the right, and the pressure came from Carl Hairston in the left side. A big play for the Eagles.
And that's one way to get out of the hole. Now the offense will operate in Giant territory from the 38-yard line. 1st and 10. A minute 48 left, third quarter. That brought the crowd to life.
That was Dennis Harrison there, but Carl Harrison's the one that made the hit.
Jaworski has the ball batted up in the air and goes over the head of Harold Carmichael. Right now, let's take you to New York and get an update from Brent Musburger.
That out at Utah State, the legend Eric Hipple started at quarterback ahead of Terry Bradshaw's brother because of his running ability. And just moments ago, of a play reminiscent of the split D, he scored. The Lions lead the Bears 16-7. Back to you and John and Philly.
10-10 here, Brent. But the Eagles have it 2nd and 10 at the Giant 38.
Interesting to see if they get Lawrence Taylor blocked this time. They didn't last time.
Presley, the tight end, is lined up in front of him now. He backs off the line. And now goes in motion. Pitch back to Montgomery. Jumps out of the dive of Brad Van Pelt and goes out of bounds after about 5. Maybe not quite that much.
You know, on that fumble, Scott Bruner got it from Carl Hairston on that backside that he didn't see him. On this first down play, Lawrence Taylor hit Jaworski from the backside the same way.
One of the individuals with no shirt on is being escorted out at the moment.
He's a nice guy. The lights are on upstairs. There's no one home.
Third and 7 at the 35. Giants put the rush on Jaworski, and he throws intended for Campfield, but it's on the hop.
I think Jaworski felt that rush a little more that time than was really there. He threw that ball. He could have stepped up more than he did.
And on comes Tony Franklin. This will be from over 50 yards out. They have a special play, as most teams do, a fake field goal.
And an option. John Shira, the holder, number 21, was an option quarterback.
52 yards away, Tony Franklin. He hit him from that far. That's far enough. Wide left is Franklin. Jaworski has had a tough time in the second half. 4 out of 12. For another update, let's again go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Archie Manning was not wide. 22 yards on this pass. He'll pick up Wayne Wilson, and now the homecoming is almost complete. Bum Phillips has opened up a 24-10 lead on Houston and Ed Biles. Let's go back to you and John in Philly.
John and I'll be in Houston next week, next Sunday. Here's Rob Carpenter. Carpenter breaking tackles, gets good yardage, a first down, almost midfield. Randy Logan tripped him up.
Watch this again. We were talking about the one back in the backfield. It's very effective when the one man is a Rob Carpenter who can feel and pick a hole all the way around the line of scrimmage. And I think this is a big trend of football now. We seem to be seeing more of that 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver, 1 back, picking the hole right or left.
What a job Billy Ard did on Frank LeMaster on that last play. Carpenter again. This time, Charlie Johnson beats it and takes Carpenter down.
You're talking about Billy Ard there, number 67. Did you see him? He was upset because Charlie Johnson came to his side, and they want to double Charlie Johnson, and Johnson split between Billy Ard and Jim Clack on that play and got in the backfield. That's why Ard was upset. There's a lot of guys miss Charlie Johnson, though. He gets between a lot of double teams.
Very quick. 2nd and 8 at midfield. Probably the last play of the third quarter. It'll be Ike Forte, and he is hit immediately by Carl Hairston. Just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
The Giants have gotten away from their passing now, probably because of the interceptions, but I still think they can work the outsides.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score 10-10. We'll be back with the start of the fourth quarter after this word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota, who invite you to see all the 1982 Toyota cars and trucks at your local dealer. Oh, what a feeling to drive a Toyota. And by Lowenbrau. When it's time for the taste of a truly great beer, let it be Lowenbrau.
One more quarter to go. Pat Summerall with John Madden. Score tied at 10. Third down for the Giants. Midfield, 3rd and 8 for a first.
We've really seen some tight games this year. It seems like every week we go into the fourth quarter with a tie game or a very close game.
The last 5 in a row, certainly. Here's Gunnar going deep. Intended for Johnny Perkins, who couldn't shake the defender. Herman Edwards right back there in good shape.
I'm sure that was one of those same types of things that Scott Bruner didn't have anything. He was looking deep. There was nothing there, so he just threw the ball as hard and as far and as long as he could so that there'd be no interceptions, because the worst thing that can happen is this guy, Dave Jennings, punted, and that's not bad.
Shira goes back inside the 10. And Pasarchik is loosening up. Jennings aiming for the sideline. Shira handles it at the 3. John Shira gets out to about the 14-yard line. Joe McLaughlin, the first man down for the Giants.
Now that's a real surprise there that Shira would take the ball on the 3. Usually, if it's inside the 10, you don't return it.
Pasarchik in conversation as the score remains tied. Dick Vermeil giving that gum a severe workout. First and 10 at the 15. Montgomery and Oliver, the running back. Smith in motion. Back to Montgomery. Van Pelt took the block back in the backfield from Oliver. And Montgomery circled for about 4. Curtis McGriff hustled out to make the stop.
That was good defense here. Now watch, it's going to be from the I formation, which is the best formation that the Eagles run from. It's a little pitch to Montgomery. Van Pelt comes up. He makes him change direction. And right there, Curtis McGriff just gets that left arm out to get Montgomery.
As a result, he only got 2 yards. Make it 2nd and 8. The woe continues for Baltimore. I'm sorry.
You never know what St. Louis is going to do.
That's right. Here's Oliver. Oliver lunges out about 1.5 yards shy of a first down, hit by Brian Kelly.
This is the interesting situation. Again, this 3rd down now, 3rd and 2 or 3, they probably have to go to a short yardage situation, a running situation. But when they have to go to the pass, again, they just don't seem to be in the passing game, if that makes any sense. This is a short yardage formation here now.
Booker Russell in the backfield with Montgomery. It's Montgomery. Don't think he got it. Looks like he's about a 1/2 yard shy of that first down. He'll have to wait to lay on stack.
I don't even think that one's close to a first down. That's a tough play to run in short yardage where you have to come all the way across the backfield, which gives the defense really too much time to penetrate. I don't even think they have to measure that one. I wouldn't. That's not even close, Jim. Jim, you don't have to do that. No, that's Pat Harder. He'll stretch him. Now watch. It won't even be close. See?
Bill Neal made the tackle.
Now, see, why do they do that? You see that 4th down? You see they give how many inches, and then that makes the fans boo. Jim Cunning's a great guy, but that incites the crowd. Listen to him.
There would not be any question in my mind, and I'm sure not in yours, about whether you go for this one or not. You don't.
No. That wouldn't even cross, I'm sure, any coach's mind, any person's mind.
Danny Pittman standing back at the 35-yard line. Will return it for the Giants. Max Bruniger for the Eagles. Off the side of his foot, a shank. And the Giants will take it in great shape. I'm trying to figure out what Billy Camfield was doing that time. Looked like
he was going. Yeah, he was going in motion to come to this side to be the first guy. Now what? From Runinger's right, he starts to step to this side. Now watch as he starts to punt. He feels the pressure right there from Larry Flowers, 37, and shanks the ball.
Toyota has to compare their 82.
The Giants 10, the Eagles 10. 12:59 remaining to play. Balls at the 32 as Rob Carpenter swings to his left and swings down to about the 26. Carl Hairston made the tackle. Carpenter's been a workhorse.
He has been a workhorse, and we keep mentioning that one back in the backfield where he's the only back. The Giants have 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and the advantage of that is it spreads the Eagle defense out, and it doesn't let them have a strong safety or a weak side linebacker.
Carpenter got 6. He's got 83 on the afternoon and 15 carries. Carpenter again. Hit head on by Charlie Johnson and Al Chesley as he started upfield, shy of a first down by a couple.
That was one that didn't fool Chesley. He read that ball and he met Carpenter right square in the hole.
Pittsburgh 25-10 over Cleveland. And the Steelers will be in action against the Rams next week as part of our CBS Sports doubleheader. It'll either be that game or Washington at Buffalo. And the other half will have these Giants at San Francisco or Atlanta at Houston. And then, of course, we'll celebrate Thanksgiving Day, we hope, with you from Dallas as the Bears face the Cowboys. On 3rd down, Carpenter has the first as he whirls to the 19. Frank Lemaster tackled him.
That was an I formation play, a short yardage. Again, they had 2 backs in the backfield that time so that they could get a lead. A good job of blocking by Brad Benson. Again, and Billy Ard, they got movement on that left side. Carpenter was right in behind it and picked up the first down, which was a very important first down because the Giants are now in field goal position, which they weren't before because that's into the wind.
First down, 19-yard line. Again, it's Carpenter. And Carpenter down to the 15. Carpenter closing in on another 100-yard day. Al Chesley stopped number 26.
Carpenter looks like one of those workhorse types, you know, that the more he carries the ball, the better he gets. You see that little step with the right? That's called a counter step. You want that to affect the linebacker. Take a jab step to the right, then back to the left, shoulder square, read the defense, find any little hole or cavity in there.
2nd and 6 from the 15. Carpenter again. Cuts back upfield. Doesn't get much. Inside the 15 to about the 14. Charlie Johnson, number 65, made the tackle.
Of course, the Giants do have good field position here. They're in field goal range. Now, this is a tough call. When you get 3rd and 4 and you have the field goal, what do? Do you pass and take the chance of an interception? Scott Brunner already has 2. Or do you run the ball safely, maybe pick up a first down, but if you don't, you kick the go-ahead field goal? What do you do?
I run it.
Me too.
Although they're in a passing alignment. Brunner just thought he might get a penalty or a jump shot as he threw it to the corner. He'll stay in and hold for Joe Danello. Mike Freedy in the discussion now with Brunner as he leads. And here's Danello. 1 for 2 today.
He's checking that wind. Joe, the wind is going against you. It's in your face. Check, you see it?
How do you check the wind on artificial turf?
There's no great, well, he picked up a little piece of paper or something. We used to, George Blanda always took a little piece of paper with him.
update Shea Stadium. Here is Ken Stabler, the 50-yarder to Mike Halston. They are within 7 of New Orleans. Richard Todd will start for the Jets against Miami. Back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
13-10, Giants over Philadelphia. I guess they're my Giants again now, John.
They're your Giants. Pat's Giants in Philadelphia.
Canelo hits it deep and high. Canfield retreats 2 yards deep into the end zone. And out he comes. Billy Canfield outside the 20 to the 23. The Eagles will take over. Tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes. And then Mary Poppins, starring Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke in Walt Disney's Academy Award winning hit, Mary Poppins.
The fans are booing Jaworski now as he comes in. You know, and thinking about booing, talking about booing, that kickoff there is one that Giants probably wish they would have done last week. Now the full kickoff and not that squib punt.
Montgomery is a lone setback. And they give to him. It's rough going in the middle of that defense today. Harry Carson made the hit. And the fans are really getting restless now.
The one thing the Eagles got away from in thinking that they could run is mixture. And any time that a defense can gang up on you and just play one thing, run or pass, boy, that's tough.
It's almost like they know what's coming. Second down, 9 at the 25. Jaworski back to throw. Does throw. Smith, the intended receiver, and penalty markers go down all over the place.
And this will be an interesting one. And it looks like it's against the Giants, but that could have gone either way because there was a lot of bumping going on downfield. And it's going to go against the Giants, but it looked like there was bumping coming from both sides on that one.
Tough call.
Pass interference, defense, number 24, first down.
Called against Terry Jackson. He had Smith man-to-man. Haynes has had Carmichael man-to-man all day.
Let's see if we can see it again. Here's Charlie Smith. Now, Haynes has good position, or Jackson has good position to the inside on him. Now, watch that first bump there, I think, was Charlie Smith. I think his left elbow bumped Jackson. Now they get it back. Now they get it back. This one will go against the Eagles.
Montgomery was the ball carrier. Gary Jeter was involved at the end of that, but a penalty marker goes down. Comes Wally Henry. The penalty situation identical up till now.
Building use of the hand, number 50, 10 yards, still first down.
Guy Morris. Quiet offensive center.
You usually don't catch those centers there in the middle of the line. It always seems the guards and tackles that they catch for holding.
First and 20 back at the 35. Henry and Carmichael both to the right. And this is Henry. On a quick screen, Wally Henry gets about 7 or 8, and again the penalty marker goes down. Van Pelt made the tackle.
This is the type of thing they're trying to do, you know, to get the ball for a first down. There's another penalty. Guess it was a quick, tight passing. You know, they started throwing those little quick outs and little hook patterns, and now they've thrown a couple quick screens out there trying to get the ball in the open field to a wide receiver, either Harold Carmichael or Wally Henry, or someone that can make something happen. I think if the Eagles are going to win, eventually, okay, Jim.
Illegal block above the waist in the back, 10 yards, still first down.
Anyway, as I was saying, I think they're going to have to start throwing the ball up the field.
Going into today, Wally Henry had caught only 4 passes, but 2 of them had been for touchdowns. So he's dangerous. One of them on a play like that. First and 25 now, back at the 32. Henry and Carmichael, same formation. They're both lined up wide to the right. Montgomery out to the left. Jaworski. Van Slitzen, Jaworski chased and taken by Van Pelt. Brad Van Pelt, a big
happened because he broke through first, and he made Jaworski bring the ball down. Now watch it here. We'll see Jaworski come back. Now the first thing, see, Martin comes from the right hand right there. Jaworski has to bring the ball down, run to the outside. Martin flushed him out, and Van Pelt was out there ready to make the tackle.
It will be 2nd and 41 for a first. Back at the 14. An 18-yard loss on that sack. Less than 8 minutes left to play now. Clock running. Eagles just barely get it off. They get out to the 15. Bill Neal hits Montgomery. Harry Carson was there too.
Look at the Giant defense. Lawrence Taylor was really getting excited there, and Harry Carson was telling him, calm down. You know, it's been 12 times since we've beaten these guys. Just calm down, because we still have 7.5 minutes to do this.
Lawrence Taylor was in high school the last time the Giants beat the Eagles.
Scott Spurner was probably in high school around there, wasn't he?
He had just started at Delaware. Montgomery has 100 yards rushing now. First back to get 100 against the Giants this year. Jaworski will throw from the shotgun. Throwing deep. Pass is picked off by Terry Jackson, and Jackson will score for the Giants.
Look at the celebration down there. They've lost Jackson. They put him right underneath those holders there. What a play by Jackson. What a job this Giant defense has done today. Now, Dick Vermeil is going to start to get excited here. But now watch him step right. He got a great jump on the ball. He was 3 yards in front of the ball, and when he catches that, he has a straight shot down that right sideline and into the end zone. We'd said earlier what a great job that Jackson has been doing this year, and that's the play that probably wins this game.
There was a big celebration in Philadelphia last week when Detroit beat Dallas, and don't you think there's a celebration going on right now in Dallas?
They're starting to celebrate.
Danello. Runner holding. It is 20-10. 32-yard touchdown run with a pass interception by Terry Jackson makes it the Giants ahead of the Eagles by 10 points. The Giants 20, the Eagles 10, 6:56 left to play in the football game. Danello about to kick off. We'll show you the touchdown run again in just a minute. Wally Henry back deep for the Eagles. That'll be a hard one to handle. 6 yards deep in the end zone. He handles it well enough to know he shouldn't come out, and he doesn't. So the Eagles will start from the 20, and again it's Jaworski, and again here's the booze. Here's why.
Here's why. As you say, Charlie Smith is going to run it out. We see Terry Jackson. He gets a jump. He was back off of Smith. He was watching the quarterback. He saw the ball all the way, got a great jump on it, took it into the end zone.
Jaworski will operate from the shotgun now. They need 10 at least, and they need them pretty quick. Jaworski is chased. He's still chased. Now he looks and throws for Montgomery, and it's knocked away at the last minute by Haynes.
I'd like to say that the secondary of the Giants have really done an outstanding job of coverage all day.
Philadelphia with a 9-2 record going into this game. Dallas just a game back. The Cowboys playing Washington today, a game that's just about to begin right now. A loss today would be even more important because it's within the division.
And when Dallas hears this score in the locker room before they go on the field, I'll guarantee you they'll get a little more adrenaline in their body.
2nd and 10, Philadelphia. Jaworski again takes the snap. Stands back in the pocket, fires complete. The tackler on Charles Smith. First down, Philadelphia.
Charles Smith comes off the line here. See, he gets a little bump in there, again by Terry Jackson. Now, what happened to Jackson, did you see Harold Carmichael there screened him out so Jackson couldn't get back in, and they were able to get the ball to Charlie Smith. Here's the old pick play.
Smith and Carmichael this time both split to the right. Something happened to the snap, and the penalty markers go.
Terry Jackson was on Charlie Smith on that last play. He was covering, and the next thing he sees is Harold Carmichael. What's happening here?
That's a big screen.
5 yards, still first down.
5-yard penalty, make it still first down, but now 15 back at the 32-yard line. Backs up. Smith again. Outside the 40, about the 44-yard line. Brad Van Pelt, the tackler. Shy of a first down. It'll be second. It looks like about 3. 5:40 left to play. Giants 20. Eagles 10.
The Eagles really have plenty of time. What they're thinking, though, is they have to think in terms of 2 scores. They have to get one and get the ball and get another one.
Cincinnati, you saw that score really rolling. Here's the front forward handoff to Montgomery again. He might have bounced up for a first down. Terry Jackson tripped him up.
That'll be very close. And you know, you'd think on second down with 3 or 4 yards to go and you have a running back like Wilbert Montgomery that maybe you just get in the I formation, do what you do best, and make them stop you.
That was the final score you just saw. Tampa Bay overwhelming Green Bay. And the Buccaneers stay alive for a playoff spot. That's in the fourth quarter. 17-13 New England over Buffalo. Problems for Chuck Knox. Green Bay's record drops to 5-7.
Of course, Tampa Bay is one of those 7 teams, and you know, probably the team that can win 3 out of 5. You know, put together something like that will be the 5th wild card in the NFC.
In the Central Division alone, there were 3 teams at the beginning of the day. Fourth quarter score there. Pittsburgh over Cleveland, 25-10. It'll be third down about a foot. Line of scrimmage, the Eagle 47. Booker Russell gets the handoff, and he gets hit. He might have gotten the first down, but just barely if he did. This one, if they didn't get it, they'll have to go for it.
They will go for this one. As you say, they have to go for it, but Curtis McGriff from the left end got penetration and made an excellent play on that short yardage defense. They'll get a mark. Oh, no, it's first down.
Clock running now with less than 5 minutes left to play. 4:50. Dick Vermeil is upset.
I'm sure that he's upset about his offense. They really haven't looked like they've played with life in this game.
Snap rolls back to Jaworski. He hits Montgomery. Montgomery can't hang on. He was still juggling it when he was hit by Brian Kelly, and it's an incomplete pass.
One thing, these Giants, they do a good job, these linebackers, against the run, but they're also good against the pass. You know, once they get in there, they feel, and they really converge. Now watch the thrown ball here. Watch the conversion by both linebackers. Boom, met him square, shoulder to shoulder.
That'll bring up 2nd and 10. The Giants leading by 10. Kansas City. Boy, they're playing tough. 27-6 over Seattle. Haynes, penalty marker down. From behind, he got Smith.
That'll be Haynes on that one, because that time he did get there too soon. He bumped and touched Charlie Smith before the ball got there. Now, again, once the ball gets there, you can do it.
Defense, number 36, first down.
But Marcaine pushed and bumped and touched before the ball got there. We'll see it again. Charlie Smith is in the outside guy. Harold Carmichael is in the inside. Smith is going to run a hook. And now, right there, see the bump and the hit before the ball got there. That's what pass interference is.
So it'll be a first down at the 38-yard line now for the Eagles in Giant territory. That forward handoff again. Nothing doing as Harry Carson stayed right with Montgomery. Fans are booing, I suppose, the call, but remember, Jaworski does not call the play.
No, that's right. Those are coming from the sideline, and again, the Eagles are trying to get some mixture now. They don't want to have to pass every play and get a wild pass rush.
Less than 4 to play. Second 10 from the 38. Intended for Wally Henry, incomplete. Mike Dennis back there right with him in good shape.
It was a tough one for Jaworski to throw. Dennis was man-to-man all the way with help deep, and there was really nothing there.
As you said earlier, with all due respect to the capabilities and abilities of the Eagle offensive team, they certainly didn't look like they were ready to throw the football today at any point.
And I think that can happen.
Buffalo in the last seconds. 20-17, a victor over New England.
Everything happens for New England.
Jaworski, incomplete. Terry Jackson again. Intended for Charlie Smith, and Jackson knocked it away.
Terry Jackson's been every place today. He had the interception, of course, and he just got that big play. And here's the reason. Let's watch Jeter there on the right side. We'll see the block again. Guy Morris sends. He doesn't look. We see a stunt there, which is a cross between the defensive line. And look, they end up 3 guys on one. They pass him off. Good pass protection. Jaworski was able to step up.
Terry Jackson keeps playing like that. He can book passage to the Pro Bowl at any time.
He doesn't even need a pass rush.
4th and 10. Jaworski down the middle. Enough for the first. That's Billy Campfield, who again comes up with a clutch reception. Wally Henry out on the side, signaling that they got the first down, but he doesn't have on the right color shirt.
I'll tell you, it's very, very close because he had to get up beyond the first. I'm sure that he did, because it's very right there. See, when he catches a ball, he doesn't have to get up to the line, but they mark it right there where that second foot hit, not back where he ended up. It'll be a first down.
They measured. They made it by about a foot.
I think his momentum went back by the defender, so it wasn't where he ended up. It was where he caught the ball and both feet hit the ground.
3:17 left to play. First and 10 from the 27. Montgomery stays in the block this time. Going deep over the head of everybody. Intended this time for Campfield. Bill Courier, however, was the man nearest to it. Jaworski just fired it out of the end zone.
He was lucky that he put that little extra, because Courier was the only one in position to catch it, but it went over his head and out of the end zone. Now, again, the Eagles, they have 3 minutes here, but they have to think in terms of 2 scores. Now, here's where they won't go for it on 4th down. Of course, they'd kick a field goal, try and get it back again. They have to think in terms of 10 or 14.
Clock stopped after that incompletion with 3:04 left to play. The Eagles and Giants both have all their timeouts remaining. Jaworski looking for Carmichael. And Harold can't hang on. Hit by Beasley Reese. And Carmichael down in the end zone. Haynes was just behind him. Carmichael couldn't find the handle. Big Harold's down.
That is a tough one, Pat. He was really hit by Beasley Reese because, again, he didn't see him coming nor feel him coming. He was looking and concentrating on the ball, and just as the ball got there, Beasley Reese got there.
Think this is not a tough game? Watch this.
We'll see Carmichael come into the post right there. See, he's concentrating. He's looking. He reaches out. Beasley Reese was going for the ball at the same time, and they both met. Watch this collision right here. Both going up for the ball. Reese is coming into him. Carmichael's going the other way. Ooh.
Carmichael's still down. Don't forget, next Sunday it all begins with the NFL today. Los Angeles will be at Pittsburgh or Washington at Buffalo. And in the second half of that doubleheader, the Giants will be at San Francisco or Atlanta at Houston. And, of course, again, we remind you to spend Thanksgiving, or ask you to spend Thanksgiving with us, as we'll be at Texas Stadium for the match between the Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Carmichael, still being administered to, is up sitting now. And now Harold comes off.
Harold Carmichael's really a classy guy. We all know about how many receptions he has in his career and everything, but he's a real man. He's a very, very classy person.
The all-time leader.
Last year he was Philadelphia's Man of the Year. And he's that type of person, you know, community-oriented, those types of things. He does things. He gives back. Talking about outstanding people, the man on the right of Harold Carmichael there is a trainer, Otho Davis, and he's one of the outstanding trainers in this game.
He also makes a good pot of chili.
Oh, it was hot today, though. Hot chili today.
It needed a day like this.
I mean spicy hot, though.
Jaworski rocked by Taylor just as he let it go. Ryan Kelly, the defender, and Jaworski struggled back up.
Jaworski's been struggling all day, but that, of course, is not his fault. I mean, Lawrence Taylor made that play possible. And it'll go down as an incomplete, a big play. It was a third down play. Lawrence Taylor came off that left side like he was shot out of a gun, and Jaworski didn't have a chance for a completion.
So we'll make it 4th and 10 at the 27. Tony Franklin into the game. From 44 yards out this time was John Shira holding. Giants don't even try to rush. They make Tony go for it. And Tony doesn't get it. Franklin is wide with that field goal attempt. And the crowd now starts to depart.
Reason to depart because that was a big, big miss. Had they made the field goal here, they would have had a shot. Now, again, they still need 2. The Giants know that they can run this clock down and just protect this position. There's a very disheartened person right now. Whew, boy, that's tough.
The Eagles play Miami next week. Giants go to San Francisco. Carpenter to the 30, protecting the football. There is what we showed you earlier in the day. The teams in the NFC that began the day with 5 and 6 records. Scratch Green Bay now. Put Tampa Bay at 6 and 6. And it looks like you can put the Giants at 6 and 6.
Of that 7, one of those teams are going to make a big move and win 3 out of 5 and be that 5th wild card.
Carpenter again. Nothing doing. Frank Lamaster. Charlie Johnson made the tackle. That'll be the 2-minute warning. And the Eagles have to make something happen very quickly. The Giants are ahead by 10. Pat Summerall with John Madden at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, which is about half empty right now because their Eagles are losing by 10 to the Giants, 20 to 10. 2-minute warning has been given. The Eagles and Giants both have all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
I'm sure the Giants aren't thinking about using any of their timeouts, and the Eagles were probably wishing they had about double that amount.
It'll be third down. Rob Carpenter has 99 yards. He'll probably, if he can struggle for a couple here, go over the 100 mark. Giants jump offside. Went on a long count. Sometimes that helps the defense more than does the offense. There's a final score in that battle of first-place teams, 38-21 Cincinnati over Denver.
Someone's doing something right at Cincinnati.
Forrest Gregg and his coaching staff, and Sir Anderson, too.
87. Encroachment. Still third down.
And we're talking about running backs getting over 100 yards, and Rob Carpenter looks like he's going to get over 100 yards against this Eagle defense, and that's not done very often.
Carpenter. He'll have his 100. Pittsburgh 32, Cleveland 10. And the Steelers will be in action against the Rams next week with our NFL doubleheader. Or Washington at Buffalo. The second half, the Giants very much alive in the playoff picture at San Francisco. Atlanta at Houston, and Thanksgiving Day at Turkey. You'll share with the Cowboys and the Bears. That Pittsburgh game, by the way, the 32-10 score, that's a final now.
Well, look at that Dallas game on Thanksgiving. One thing that we were here at practice yesterday, and the Eagles are concerned with everything that the Cowboys do. And when we go to Dallas, they're concerned with everything the Eagles do. These two teams compete all year round.
Abe Jennings back to kick. A minute 54. The Eagles used one of their timeouts. There's 54 left. The Eagles going to try to block it, and they very nearly did. Jennings goes down, and a penalty marker goes down as Wally Henry set sail back at the 26-yard line, but the penalty flag was down as Jennings went down. The Eagles put the rush on to try to block it, a 49-yard kick, but the Giants will keep the football.
It was a late flag by Jim Tunney. He looked like he waited a little while. Let's see this here. Now, again, after he gets the kickoff, after it leaves his foot, he cannot be touched. Now, there it is. Now, watch. Boom, it leaves his foot. Boom, it's gone. Now they can't touch him. I guess right there, right underneath him, he was hit, so that gives the Giants an automatic first down. Rob Carpenter does everything. They just threw a roll of toilet paper out there. He went out and got it on the 10-yard line and threw it back into the stands.
That's what you call an all-purpose back. Carpenter, the ball carrier. And Rob just protecting the football at the moment. The Eagles will call another timeout to stop the clock. But there's not too much they can do about this one.
It's all over, and that shows what type of team that the Giants are. They're really not that far away. They're a better defensive team. I think their defense really won the game for them today, but they're getting closer. And, you know, the Eagles had the best record in professional football, and maybe that's what parity is right now, that everyone is so equal, and I don't think it has anything to do with the league schedule. Look at Detroit now. They finally won a game on the road. Or they're winning a game on the road. But, you know, I think what it is a transition period. That the top teams aren't as good as they used to be. There's no dominant team in pro football, and they're coming down. Conversely, the bottom teams are starting to improve, and right now it seems to me like they're all meeting right around that middle.
Everywhere you go, people ask us, because they know we see different teams, what's the best team you've seen? And more consistently, we say the best team we've seen is Philadelphia, the most solid. Here they are losing today, losing 20-10. Carpenter near the 40. The Eagles have one more chance to stop the clock. Frank LeMaster, the tackler.
And then you always have that ongoing thing. Who's better, the Eagles or the Cowboys? Of course, the Cowboys beat them once this year already. And Ray Perkins had an interesting view on it last night. He said that he thinks the Eagles are if they have Montgomery. He said if they don't have Wilbert Montgomery, he thinks the Cowboys would be the best team. And his team is beating what he thought was the best team.
Carpenter again. He will not have the first down, stopped by Chesley and LeMaster. And the Eagles now, I believe, will use their last timeout. I thought perhaps earlier we might see some of Joe Pisarcik in action.
Well, I think that Dick Vermeil was thinking that really they're in first place. They have 5 more games in regular season, and he doesn't want to start that type of thing, you know, because if he did replace his quarterback, then all during the week you'd have to defend himself as to why he did it and answer the question, who's going to start this week? And it would unsettle and unrest his team. And at this time, I'm sure he doesn't need, nor does he want that. Although he'll be upset. I'll guarantee you he'll be upset after this one.
Again goes back. If the Eagles try the rush again and try to block it, they probably will. Wally Henry back deep. This time no roughing. Henry signals fair catch and fumbled it momentarily and then dropped on it. First man down was who else but Lawrence Taylor.
Does it all.
Executive producer Terry O'Neill. The senior producer Charles Hamilton Milton III. Football game produced so capably by Bob Stinner, directed by Larry Cavallini.
From New York Tech.
And all the rest. They sure make it a joy to broadcast, don't they?
They sure do. An outstanding job. They're right on top of everything.
First down for Philadelphia.
What's this formation?
This is Eagle gang right. 3 wide receivers to the right. That's Campfield, who was one of them, stops as the first down. The Eagles will have to hurry. Half a minute left to play. Put this one in the W column for the Giants.
Call in the dogs and put out the fire. The hunt's over.
Here's Jaworski again. Almost picked off by Brian Kelly. Intended for Carmichael. That'll stop it with 18 seconds to go. Good day for Brian. 18 seconds left to play. The Giants in an upset over the Philadelphia Eagles, leading 20-10. Scott Brunner has been the quarterback all day, but it's the Giant defense that's done a superb job. Jaworski from his gun, chased by Taylor again. Pass complete to Campfield. That should just about do it. Wilbert Montgomery made the catch. I'm sorry, not Campfield.
I don't even know why they want to get one more play off. All you do is take a chance of getting someone injured. I don't know why. I don't understand this. There's 1 second, you're down by 10. There's no way you can possibly do it. Why do it?
And the game is over. Pat Summerall for John Madden saying so long from Philadelphia. Again, the final score, Giants 20, Philadelphia 10. Let's swing it now to New York.
6'3", 240 pounds, 7 sacks,